He is called the premier tailback in the nation by none other than Florida State coach Bobby Bowden. His name is not Ron Dayne. Tonight, all eyes are on the nimble feet of Virginia's Thomas Jones. Almost 1,800 yards this season. 4 200-yard games. And ankle-breaking cutbacks that have fueled the Cavaliers' campaign. But the Fighting Illini of Illinois are not intimidating. Not when you've won at Michigan and at Ohio State. Not when a high-octane offense has revitalized the program. This season, no quarterback in the country authored his sparkling a debut as sophomore Kurt Kittner. Tonight, a warning to the defenses to be tortured on the ground or tormented through the air. Virginia against Illinois. The MicronPC Bowl, next on the Superstation. It's a spectacular night in Miami from the Big Ten, the University of Illinois, and from the ACC, the University of Virginia. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside Sam Weish and Trev Alberts. And on the field tonight, you're Craig Sager. From all of us to all of you, a very happy and safe upcoming new year. Well, two interesting teams, Sam. Two very even squads, both 7-4. Let's begin with the Cavaliers of the University of Virginia. What stands out when you take a look at this ball club? Well, they're very young on defense. 9 freshmen will see action today on defense. But they got here with their high-scoring offense. They win most of the shootouts. And they did it around their All-American, Thomas Jones. This kid reminds me a little bit of Barry Sanders, the way he dekes them in and out. Warwick Dunn, the way he hits that hole, and Tiki Barber with the great hands, and of course that Cavalier tradition. But what's really interesting about this guy is he graduated in 3 years, and it's a shame, Kevin, that they didn't place a 6th chair there at the Athletic Club in New York when they presented the Heisman Trophy. This kid right here belonged to be in that final group. Well, and he belongs playing on Sundays too, which we'll see him next fall, and a guy who used to coach on Sundays has led one of the great reclamation projects in all of college football in Ron Turner. You talk about Ron Turner, the former head coach of the Chicago Bears. Just 3 years ago, this Illini football program was 0-11. Horrible. Couldn't get anything done. Made a lot of improvements. Still needs to make some improvement on the defensive side. They give up 388 yards of total offense. But one guy you're going to love, 48, Danny Clark, a linebacker. He'll flat smack you in the mouth. I love to watch that guy play. No questions, though, about on offense. One of the most balanced offenses in all of college football. They run very well. But make no mistake about it, the reason Illinois is in this game is because of that guy right there. It's Kurt Kittner. 22 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions. He doesn't make the mistakes. Coach referenced the youth on the Virginia side. I promise you guys, there's going to be some open lanes for Kurt Kittner tonight. One of the things that stands out about Illinois in their season, they were #2 in the country in the giveaway takeaway. Thus, their defense was outstanding. Let's take a look at them right now.
And number 95, Ramel Connor. The position is defensive end. I want to say what's up to my people in Bellwood in Chicago.
This is Brandon Moore, number 96, defensive tackle from Gary, Indiana.
Mike McGee, number 85, defensive tackle.
Number 99, Fred Wakefield. I play defensive end. I'd like to say what's up to all the people from Champaign who couldn't make it out here. What's up, number 48, Danny Clark, linebacker.
Hi, my name is Eric Gunther, number 41. I play middle linebacker.
My name is Mike Young, number 52, outside linebacker. I want to say what's up to the Webster family and the Young family. God bless.
Number 33, Tony Francis. I play cornerback.
Number Johnny Rogers, number 29, defensive back.
I'm Muhammad Abdullah. I play free safety on number 7.
Asim Players, number 24, defensive back. Saying what's up to people in Youngstown, Ohio, and all the frat bros out there, all the Q dogs. All right, we'll meet the Virginia
and Illinois teams in just 1 second with their kickoff next from Miami.
It's the New Year's Comedy Cure 2000 on the Superstation.
Go ahead, make my millennium.
Bring in Y2K with 24 hours of your favorite funny movies. Like City Slickers, Back to the Future, Dragnet, and the Superstation premieres of Beetlejuice and the Naked Gun 2.5.
Is this some kind of bus?
This is very impressive, yes.
The New Year's Comedy Cure 2000, beginning 12 midnight Friday. Only on the Superstation.
You're sweating like crazy.
You got TV cameras all over you.
The last thing you want is this white clumpy thing running down your arm.
It's just rude.
We asked some of the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Degree Invisible Solid? What's that? I would assume it goes on clear, but I'm not sure I believe that.
When your body heats up, Degree Invisible Solid releases extra protection with a clear difference.
Right there. You see there's no white stuff? The harder I work, the harder it works. No flaking, no funk, no Klingons.
Degree Invisible Solid. Works hard but never shows.
After the match, there's a ton of girls. Gotta be cool.
A significant discovery in eye health may be lutein, a nutrient found in these healthy foods. Now Centrum has the only leading multivitamins with lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Centrum Silver, now more complete with lutein.
I am the bullet drill bit. With my pilot point tip, I drill holes without slipping, because accurate holes are my life. I'm the bullet. I'm built by Black & Decker.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this Gigundo party sub from Subway.
And no bacon in my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2... Oh well, 'tis always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
MicronPC.com Bowl on the Superstation is brought to you by MicronPC.com. Learn how web hosting and subscription computing can help your organization by visiting us at MicronPC.com and think beyond the box. By Bullet, the only drill bit with a pilot point tip for accuracy. And by Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
.77 degrees here in Miami Pro Players Stadium. Welcome to our coverage of the MicronPC.com Bowl with Illinois in their first postseason appearance since '94 against Virginia. 13th consecutive winning season. Let's meet the Virginia Cavalier offense.
Josh Lawson, number 52, offensive tackle. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the house. Noel Lamontagne from Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, number 77, offensive guard.
I'm John St. Clair, number 50, offensive center for Roanoke, Virginia. I want to say hi to my mom.
Evan Brownson, number 56, offensive guard. My name is Brad Barnes from Grafton, Virginia, number 71, play offensive tackle.
Dan Ellis, number 17, quarterback.
My name is Thomas Jones. I'm number 6. I play running back for Big Stone Gap, Virginia. I just like to tell everybody back at Big Stone Gap, Happy New Year, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Anthony Sullivan, number 25. I play fullback from Whiteville, North Carolina. Hi, Mom and Dad.
My name is Kevin Coffey, number 88, from East Cleveland, Ohio. I play wide receiver.
My name is Amar Hawkins from Hampton, Virginia, number 80, play wide receiver.
Hi, I'm Casey Crawford, number 86. I'm a tight end from Falls Church, Virginia. Hi, Mom.
Both Virginia and Illinois riding 3-game winning streaks coming into tonight. And let's send it downstairs to Craig Sager.
Well, thanks, Kevin. When Thomas Jones was 16, he asked his father, who was in the admissions department at the University of Tennessee, if college coaches would find him in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. His dad said, athletics like academics. If the talent is there, you'll be found. Now all eyes are on Jones, not only by those of you watching at home, but the pro scouts in the stands who under NCAA rules have to buy their tickets for the game tonight, and in particular those of the Illinois defense. Now these are the first 15 plays as scripted by offensive coordinator Gary Trankel of Virginia. 7 directly involved runs by Thomas Jones. You'll see him in speed plays, quick drives. You'll see him in power plays where he'll follow a lead blocker through a hole, and you'll see him in deceptive plays, counters, and reverses. And if you're wondering what that first play is, the regular formation, right, near fly, wham, 45, buff right, If Gary Tranquil goes according to script, look for Dan Ellis on a bootleg pass to the right. Kevin?
Oh, terrific, Craig. Thank you so much. Virginia coming in 7-4, 5-3 in the ACC. George Welsh, in his 18th year as the coach, this team was 3-3, Sam, at midseason, but they finished with a glittering 3-1 record, and here they are in Miami just before New Year's.
You know how they do this? They keep giving the ball to number 6. We're going to see it tonight, Thomas Jones. The defense has got some youth to it, but are hustlers. But the key to this whole football team is that running back and the parents. We'll meet them as the night goes on. This kid is special.
For the Illinois Fighting Illini, a team which had just 3 wins last year, they beat both Ohio State and Michigan on the road this season. And Trev, you talked about it. Ron Turner has done one of the great jobs in college coaching.
Well, he really has. You know, this is a team that won 3 games, then lost 3 games, and was at Michigan down by 20 points, and something happened. This team got together. Kurt Kittner got hot. They believe in themselves. The young guys started stepping up. Wide receivers like Brandon Lloyd, number 6. You're going to see him, an exciting football player. This team believes in itself. They beat Michigan at Michigan and Ohio State at Ohio State. They feel they can play with anybody.
And he calls his own plays. He was the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, head coach and offensive coordinator for Illinois.
Absolutely. Huge point. He'll know exactly what's going on.
Actually, he doesn't know the signals, but for 3 plays, though, Kevin.
That's right.
His favorite 3 plays, make sure he gets those in. Somebody else is calling the signals in anyway.
Yeah, we asked him, you know, in the NFL, you've got the radio communication with the quarterback, but in college, you got to signal them in as you see a spectacular night for football, 77 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, a sun-drenched afternoon once again here in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area, and Illinois fans, students, and alums have come here in droves. You're going to see, folks, right here, one of the great kickoff men in college football, David Green. 41 touchbacks on 63 kickoffs this year, but only on kickoffs. And deep back is Havard, Steve Havard, who is the leading rusher for Illinois. Rocky Harvey is back there with them as well.
That's their 2 tailbacks. Yep. See action, they'll alternate tonight.
Isn't it nice to know, Coach, every time you go out there, they're going to be on the 20-yard line. Have a kicker, you know, every single time.
And this kid will do it, too, right here.
Absolutely.
Virginia and Illinois, and here we go from Miami. Picked up by Harvey, Rocky Harvey. Spinning his way up to the 29-yard line and eventually taken down by Chris Williams, a return of 19 yards. Kurt Kittner is the quarterback. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. As Ron Turner told us yesterday, he was the key, Sam, to the Illinois winning season.
Well, we're going to see it tonight. You see them huddle on the sideline. They make their call. You're going to see a lot of formations, a lot of personnel groups. They don't want to give the defense much of a look.
On the 29, 1st and 10, Jameel Cook is in motion. Kittner right to work. Hit, grabbed, and brought down. Sacked by Staminich. Lubomir Staminich.
Absolute key to the game, Kevin. You got to get pressure on Kurt Kittner. Penn State got pressure on him. They stopped him early. Get pressure.
He's a sophomore from Great Falls, Virginia. Let's take a look at Illinois. Havard and Cook in the backfield. Dean, Whitman, and the freshman Lloyd from Kansas City. Line, Sullivan, Galaga, Butkus, Radziniak along with Pashas. 2nd down and 15. Kittner again to the air. Right down the middle, and the pass is caught by the tight end, Josh Whitman. He's a junior from West Lafayette, Indiana, picking up 7. It'll be 3rd down with Isabel in the defense making the tackle. Griffith, Anderson, Shivers, and Staminich will be on the line. Isabel just made the tackle, flanked by Taylor and Thweet. And in the secondary, the quarterback, Stoops, whose dad played in the NFL, and Harris. Newby and Evans are the safeties.
Just went to a straight zone defense that time. They're going to keep everything in front of them here early in the game.
Now 3rd down and 8 from the 30-yard line. Kittner again. And that pass is caught. And for a 1st down, Kittner right on the money. Catch made by Aaron Moorhead, number 86. A gain of 10 on 3rd down and 8.
But you've already seen Ron Turner coming out showing a lot of looks, bringing different formations, trying to confuse that young secondary of Virginia.
Looks a little like the National Football League, doesn't it? On a Sunday afternoon. Of course, he was there in Chicago with the Bears for years. And brother Norv in Washington.
It's Rocky Harvey on first down, running up the middle, and stopped immediately by Isabel with his second tackle. The carry was by Rocky Harvey, who is a sophomore from Chicago. And he is one of the bright young running backs in the entire college football environment.
We talked about that Michigan game. He was the guy that came in and provided the spark plug, caught a couple key passes. He's really provided a boost here in the second half of the season.
Takes an unselfish teammate, though, in Havard to allow this swapping back and forth to happen.
Good point. Second down and 7 from the 42. Good time. Going deep. He's got his receiver cut by Lloyd, the freshman from Kansas City. A 39-yard gain. Tackle made by Stoops.
Lloyd is going to go up, and they're in a two-deep safety here. Dwayne Stoops has the one half of the coverage. He's got this whole half right here. But when the post pattern happens, you see he doesn't quite get enough of a chuck on him. And if the ball's thrown out just a little bit more in front, that one might have gone the distance.
Well, Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator of Virginia, already showing his hand, coming with a blitz, realizing that to beat Illinois, you got to get pressure on Kittner.
Kittner led the Big Ten in touchdown passes this year. First and 10 from the Virginia 18. And again to work. Through the air, broken up and almost picked off on the play. Nice defensive play by Antoine Harris, a senior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Second down and 10.
Tried to go right back to Lloyd that time on the quick slant. And you're going to see Harris sees it all the way. Now, he's reading through, Trev, I think, to the quarterback. When the quarterback stopped at a three-step drop, he planted, Harris did, the defensive back, and closed on it. Almost had the interception.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of three-step drops, a lot of slants. And if he reads that, he'll pick one of those off and take it to the house.
Kittner from Schaumburg, Illinois. Second down and 10, seventh play for the Illini at the 18 of Virginia. And the handoff goes to Harvey, who twists and turns his way for 2 to the 18 to the 16-yard line. And now it'll be third down. Rocky Harvey, one of the most decorated high school running backs in Illinois high school history. Harvey, number 23. For Ron Turner, one of the key recruits he had last year.
He's the speed guy of the two between Steve Havard, number 38, and Harvey, number 23. Havard is the thumper. When I was playing for Paul Brown, he used to like to have one of those big guys that just pound away at you late in the year. Harvey's a quick one.
At the 16, third down and 8. Kittner gets a nice block from Pashos. Throws a pass. Caught again by Lloyd. Breaks a tackle. Has the first down inside the Virginia 8-yard line. It's a gain of 9 on 3rd and 8. And the second big play turned in by the freshman.
Well, you're going to see what I like about Kurt Kittner right here. The young man simply sees the field extremely well. You see the poise. Nobody open, feels the pressure, moves out of the pocket, and still delivers a strike. That's why he's a great quarterback.
And he did it right with Mo Anderson all over him when he let the ball go, the defensive lineman for Virginia.
First and goal from the 7-yard line. Game opening drive here at the MicronPC.com Bowl in Miami. First and goal. Handoff to Havard. Dives down to the 4 and picks up 3 on the play. And in the middle of that line, Johnny Shivers makes the tackle. Second down and goal.
And it was Chris Hoffman, Trev. I saw you pointing as soon as he went in motion. When they get down here in the red zone, or inside the 20, watch number 49. He's the key. Where he goes, the ball goes. Let's see if it holds true. And here it comes.
Listen, if you're those linebackers, Virginia, and you see 49 in the game, you go where he goes. That's where the ball's going to be.
Now he'll slip out there in the flat on you, too. They'll pull it back and play action as well.
Second down, goal at the 4. Hand off to Havard. We got a block from Kaluga, his left guard. Picks up 2, but again, Yabreno Isabel, a junior from Bluefield, West Virginia, and the former West Virginia High School Player of the Year with a big tackle.
You know, this is a key play right here for Virginia. Opening drive, you can't allow Illinois to run right down the field and score. Hold them to a field goal, and you'll be all right the rest of the way.
Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator for Virginia, told us that if Isabel had a good game, they had a chance. And he has started off with a terrific game. He's been in almost every play we've seen.
2 tight ends. Third and goal at the 1. 2 of 2 on third downs on this drive. Kittner getting a wonderful block He'll run it into the end zone for a touchdown. Redziniak with an outstanding block.
2 tight end set. Fake to the left, roll to the right. And I think the tight end is Josh Whitman trying to fall into the corner of the end zone, but Kidner had it all the way.
Neil Rackers will try the extra point on the Steve Fitz hold. Rackers cleanly through. A pretty impressive drive orchestrated by quarterback Kurt Kittner. A 1-yard touchdown run. And in Miami is the MicronPC.com Bowl. The Illini on top by 7.
I slave for you. I get hit over 100,000 times a day. But do you even care? You will when I go 404 and start turning clients away. They say I'm your server. But perhaps it should be the other way around.
Do you really have time for this? We do. Introducing subscription computing from MicronPC.com. We'll expand your web capacity so you can expand your business.
What color is the sky in your world? Africa red? Or Mediterranean blue? Have you ever seen Moroccan orange? Irish green? Or do you see things in black and white? Visit Condé Nast Traveler's amazing destinations and break away to the most colorful locations in the world. Weeknights at 10, only on the Travel Channel.
So quiet, you can hear a pine needle fall. Only an Amerlink log home looks this good, feels this comfortable, and makes building this easy. Our Get Going Kit includes a video showing just how easy, a selection of over 80 beautiful homes, then blueprints of your favorite. The Amerlink Get Going Kit with 2 videos, over 80 designs, and blueprints is now only $9.95. Call 800-889-LOGS today. Beautiful, affordable, easy. Amerlink.
The Illini taking the opening kickoff. 71 yards, 11 plays from one of the top young quarterbacks, just a sophomore, Kurt Kittner, with a 1-yard touchdown run. He went 4 of 5 throwing on that drive. And you're going to see an outstanding feature put together by our Craig Sager at halftime on Kittner. As Neil Rackers sets to kick off for Illinois. And deep back, they'll put Tyree Foreman. Foreman from Sandy Spring, Maryland. This is in the end zone. He'll leave it there, going to a knee back to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers for the first time tonight from the 20.
On this bootleg, look at right guard. Take your eyes off the ball and look at Ray Radziniak, the right guard, as he pulls on Angelo. Here's the right guard. He's going to pull and block Angelo Crowell as he comes across right there. That enables the quarterback to get outside, and you see it's either run or pass, and if they cover him, he runs it in.
First thing you're taught, coach, as a linebacker, get your hands down and don't let him get to the knees.
So here comes UVA from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. The fake to Thomas Jones, and Ellis, the quarterback, going to the tight end on the near side, Casey Crawford. All ACC a season ago, and it's a gain of 3, setting up 2nd down and 7.
Well, I guess Craig Sager knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, I guess it's the last time they'll show him that sideline sheets. What I'm guessing. Fake off the left side to the guy that's going to get it most of the night, Thomas Jones. And then in the flat, Casey Crawford, the tight end, been injured part of the season, playing really at about 85%, they told us, Trev. Got a growing pull.
2nd down, 7 from the 23. Thomas Jones, the number 3 running back in college football, up to the 27, picks up 4, tackled by Mike Young and Ramel Connor. It'll be 3rd down.
What you're going to see about this guy from the start, Thomas Jones, is he doesn't need much of a hole. All you're asking your offensive line to do is get on somebody for a couple seconds, and this young man will flat find a hole.
Look at those numbers there. All 3 of those guys, but we're looking at one of them tonight. Almost 165 yards rushing every time he hits the field.
6 defensive backs in for the Illini. 3rd down and 3 from the 27. Ellis again to the air. Gets a good block from Lawson. And the pass is incomplete, looking for Ahmad Hawkins, a junior from Hampton, Virginia. Tony Francis with great coverage, number 33 for the Illini, and it's 3 and out for Virginia.
Dan Ellis does a nice job of buying the time. The offensive line pushes by. The coverage just too good on the Illinois side of the ball. They're going to try to play tight man-to-man tonight. They'd like to get that 8th man around the ball so they can defend the run of Thomas Jones. And they've got to be tight man-to-man everywhere else if they do it.
Here's former college basketball player at Catholic University, Donnie Scott. Fields a low snap and gets a high, explosive kick away. And pumped by the freshman, Brandon Lloyd. He gets a great block on the play from Eugene Wilson and corkscrews his way up to the 31-yard line. A 54-yard punt, an 11-yard return. The Illini rolling on both sides on top of Virginia, 7-0.
Hey, what's happening, B?
Nothing. Just chilling, watching the game, having a bud. What's up with... Hey, hold on a second. Hello?
What's that? Yo, hold up. Hello?
So what's up, B?
Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
A baby monitor. You guys, you didn't. You did. And guess what? We got you what you said.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Thank you.
What has the vision others don't? TI Programmable DSP. Technology that creates crystal clear images and can send them everywhere. From the world leader in DSP and analog, Texas Instruments.
Kevin Harlan, Sam Weiss, Trev Alberts, Craig Sager in Miami. Illinois on a touchdown run by Kirk Kittner. And now from the 31-yard line, 1st and 10, and the handoff goes to Jameel Cook in a loose ball and picked up on the fumble by Virginia. Vacuumed up on the play by Byron Thweet. A 3-year starter and the game's first turnover, and it goes to the Cavaliers.
Well, that's exactly the break that Virginia needed. Take a look here.
The old rule, the 3 points of pressure, the end of the ball pulled into your chest and your forearm covered. Didn't quite have it held tight. And good defenses are constantly trying to strip the ball, create a turnover. That's the way you get to be 7-4. Both these teams are.
Exactly. But usually it's been Illinois doing the grabbing. Number 2 in the NCAA Division I rankings in the giveaway takeaway. Now from the Illini 24, 1st and 10. Thomas Jones exploding inside the 10 and down to the 9. He detonates for 15 yards, tackled by Francis.
Now that's explosion right there, and good blocking by Noah LaMontagne on the left side. Watch the guard and the tackle right here. The running back you'll be able to spot pretty quick.
Take a look at Clark. This is a great line. That's a great block. Any good I-back has a great fullback in front of him. That's a good run by Thomas Jones, but that's a great block.
Anthony Southern doing that.
1st and goal from the 9 for Virginia. It's Jones again, hurdling a defender and climbing his way down to the 7. Picks up 2. Tackled by the middle of that line. Eric Genther and Danny Clark were there. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
I'll just tell you, as a former coach, never to be again, obviously, if you've got a running back like that young man, Thomas Jones, and you keep handing him the ball, it is such a relief on your play selection, calling the game. Now they're going with the 2 tight ends, mixing it up a little bit. 2 strong sides is what that means.
Pretty good inside the red zone. 2nd down, goal from the 7. Jones again. Big hole, diving in for the touchdown.
Wow. What a great job in that offensive line, Sam.
His mom and dad.
That's his mom and dad. Grew up, they were living in a coal mine in town, and they brought that fellow up and the entire family up with some high principles, I'll tell you that.
And you'll see a wonderful feature on that young man and his family at halftime tonight with Craig Sager is Todd Braverman, a former walk-on. Gets it through, and we are tied. Two great conferences and two of their wonderful teams on display tonight. Thomas Jones, the number 3 running back in college football, ties the game at 7.
Sunday night, a Superstation movie premiere.
Mayday, mayday. 6 or more armed with automatic weapons at Nakatomi Plaza.
How hard can it be to die?
Welcome to the party, pal.
I am interested in the $640 million in negotiable bearer bonds. What kind of terrorists are you?
Bruce Willis, Die Hard, 8 Eastern, Sunday night on the Superstation.
So get together, have a few laughs.
When you coach junior gymnastics, you do most of the exercise, so muscle aches are out of the question. That's why I take Advil every time. It's strong enough to get the job done. These kids depend on me, and I depend on Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain.
How quickly can you get dressed? Thanks to Sears end-of-the-year clearance, now is the best time to buy apparel. Save 50% on fall and winter apparel. Hey, if the price fits, the best time to buy is now.
He would ask in reference to how well he think he was going to do. And our answer as parents was, well, the Lord will help you. And when you do score a touchdown, there's one way that we know as parents that you can give gratitude back to the Lord, and that is to kneel and to tell him thank you. And he's been doing that ever since he was 8 years old in Peanut or Pop Warner football.
And did it, guys, before it was fashionable in the pros, and here he goes again.
One of the things you're noticing early is the explosiveness of Thomas Jones. When he gets the football and he sees the holes he wants, Coach, it's boom, he's through the hole.
Well, I mentioned earlier, as you saw his parents there, they're in the stands watching today. He's got that Warwick Dunn explosion. When he sees it, he's gone.
Rocky Harvey on the David Green kick from the 5-yard line. Finds a gap and slithers up to the 29. Tackle made by Stoops. 26-yard gain by Rocky Harvey.
I got a feeling we're going to be looking left, right, left, right. This was going to be fun tonight.
Wonderful to watch these two teams. Great academic institutions, and obviously programs in Virginia that have been good for a long time, in Illinois now re-emerging as a power in the Big Ten. From the 30-yard line, Kurt Kittner has a touchdown run earlier in the game with a 1st and 10. Right to work he goes again. Great time, fires a pass, incomplete, looking for tight end Brian Hodges. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and from high above, these outstanding pictures tonight from the Goodyear blimp, Stars and Stripes. The fleet of 3 domestic and 4 international blimps is a continuation of 75 years of tradition as the aerial ambassador of the 100-year-old company. Gentlemen, thank you for these outstanding scenics tonight. And truly one of the most beautiful places to be in the world, Miami. 2nd down and 10. Rocky Harvey finds a hole and spins his way for 5. He's up to the 35. That'll set up 3rd down and 5 to go for the Illini. Tied at 7 with Virginia.
If you're Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, see what you have to defend. The last time Illinois came to the line of scrimmage, they had 5 wide receivers, including the backs, going out into different patterns. There, they go back and run the isolation play. They can do anything on offense. Great balance, tough to defend.
And what is happening that you can't tell on defense is they're repeating plays that they're familiar with on offense. They're doing it from different formations, different personnel groups. So they're very adept at what they're doing, but it's a different problem for the defense each time.
3rd and 5 from the 35. Short drop, good time, pass right on the money and caught by senior Michael Dean from Key West, Florida. He's coming home and he picks up 6 on 3rd and 5 and gives the Illini a first down.
Just a quick slant. Now he's going to make the move right now. It's a 3-step retreat and the ball's let go to Michael Dean. He actually was one of the guys that might have not made the 105 cut squad, except he told the coach, I'm going to prove you're wrong. You're telling me I may not make it? Give me a chance. And he has sure done it. Not only made the team, he made the starting lineup.
Proved everybody wrong except himself from the 41 after the 6-yard catch by the aforementioned Dean. Handoff up the middle going to Steve Havard. One of the 4 captains on this team picks up 4, setting up 2nd down and about 6 in the tackle made by Shannon Taylor, the leading tackler for the Virginia defense.
Outstanding football player. George Welsh told us this is his most athletic defender. Shannon Taylor actually sat out last year, didn't play last year, but a big guy. They'll bring him on the blitz. He's going to have a big game. Virginia's going to be in this one, Sam.
Taylor, we were looking at Byron Threet. Made the play before. His outside backers do it.
Havard again on 2nd down and about 5. Picks up a meager gain of a yard. Stopped again. Shenard Newby, a freshman from Dendron, Virginia, makes the stop. We'll take a look at Isabel.
Isabel has started off fast. Boy, he was in on about the first 3 plays. If he wasn't the solo tackler, he was assist. And his coach, Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator for Virginia, told us if he doesn't play well, then our defense isn't centered. Everything in this defense is centered around those defensive players. They've got 2 freshmen at safeties, and they've got 2 corners that have been injured much of the year.
3rd and 4. Illinois has converted all 4 of their 3rd downs until right there. Great stick by Tim Spruill. Number 21, the junior from Savage, Maryland, knocking Rocky Harvey off his horse, stopping the Illini, and that was a much-needed defensive stop for Virginia.
Absolutely. This is how you defend the slants. You're going to keep running slants. You're going to get guys out in the flat. We're going to come up and slap you in the nose. That'll stop them. Make the tackle. Don't let anything after the catch.
Here's the punt by Fitz. Flag was thrown. This ball ricochets into the end zone. Arlen Harris was deep back. As it stands now, the punt for 52 yards, but a penalty flag is on the field. We have a Mid-American Conference refereeing crew, officiating crew here tonight in Miami. Bill Algie is our referee, and this is against the Cavaliers of UVA.
And that one came out of the pocket right away, and it's 5-yard penalty, first down.
George Welsh not too happy about that. That's huge.
Offside.
That is huge.
Defense. 5 yards. That'll give them a first down.
Oh. After that nice defensive stop.
Oh, boy.
It's exactly what you needed. You needed to stop them and to go off sides on a punt return. That's the first thing you're told. Hey, make sure you don't line up off sides.
There was the guy that made the stop on 3rd down that created the punt. Tim Spruill, and reacting to the quick throw in the flat. George Welsh, had back surgery in April. He had to ride in a golf cart during the 2-a-day practices. He's got a brace on his back right now, so he's not very comfortable to begin with. He doesn't need any more after this.
First and 10. Lightning quick. Rocky Harvey's going to go the distance. A 47-yard touchdown run.
We talked about great blocking fullbacks. Look at the block there. Elmer Hickman open the hole wide up, 23 right down the field. Nobody can catch him. He's the speed guy, the spark plug for this Illini offense.
How big was that penalty against Virginia?
It's 7 points worth. Exactly how much it is if they make this extra point.
Neil Rackers will try to put it through. And with those 2 extra points by Rackers, he has now passed, believe it or not, Greg Grange for career scoring. But this kid may set some records of his own. He's only a sophomore. Rocky Harvey for 47 yards, and the Illini on top.
Are your PCs becoming a little fussy? We can help. Introducing subscription computing from MicronPC.com. We'll take care of the PCs so you can take care of business.
Micron Millennia PCs feature Intel Pentium 3 processors. your windshield morning.
You freeze and freeze all through the night. That's okay, 'cause I know how to fight.
Forget Blue Washer fluids. Prestone De-Icer fluid is the yellow powerhouse that won't freeze in your reservoir and guards against refreeze on your windshield.
Hit me with your best shot.
Turn your windshield wipers into windshield scrapers.
Fire away.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now.
There's only one place to be on a Saturday afternoon, and that's at the games. NCAA football. Pass it on. NCAA football. Pass it on.
NCAA football. Pass it on. That's tonight.
He's only 5'9", but he's a stick of dynamite. 47-yard touchdown run by Rocky Harvey. And Illinois on top of Virginia here at the MicronPC.com Bowl in Miami. 14-7. Neil Rackers will be kicking off for Illinois. Tyree Foreman is back for the Cavaliers. This one may send Foreman to the back of the end zone. Out of bounds it goes, and a touchback to the 20-yard line for a 1st and 10. And on October 23rd, Illinois trailed Michigan at one point 27-7. But with a little under 3 minutes left, Rocky Harvey, who just scored the touchdown here, scored the first of 2 touchdowns of 50-plus yards to seal a 35-29 win. It was the largest come-from-behind win in Illinois University football. And that was the kind of season they had. They also wanted Ohio State, but this kid is a star in the making.
Number 1 block, baby. Number 1 block.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Handoff goes to Thomas Jones. Zigzags his way up to the 27-yard line and picks up 7 yards on the play. Robert Franklin makes the tackle, setting up 2nd down and 4.
And sometimes you don't even have to block guys. You got a guy like Thomas Jones, you say, run in this direction, you block these guys. You've seen the cutback ability. Thomas Jones finds his own hole.
Wayne Fonts once told me when he was coaching the Detroit Lions, says, for Barry Sanders, sometimes we'll leave the guy at the point of attack unblocked. That's Barry's guy. He'll make him miss. Same thing here.
On the 26, 2nd down. On the 2nd and 3, he's up to the 29-yard line. Jones again is averaging about 6 to 7 yards per carry. First team All-ACC. And the interesting thing is he was in the shadow of Tiki Barber until Barber went to the NFL as the #1 pick by the Giants.
The thing about that Jones is he can run, there's 3 yards, 4 yards, and the next one could be 50 yards, and everybody knows it, including Illinois.
You know what those Virginia guys are saying right now to themselves on the sideline? Please, just give it to Thomas Jones. Let him just go down the field slowly. We need a rest over here. We're not going to be able to stop this Illinois offense.
And Virginia has called a timeout. You take a look at Jones. Tough family, the Jones family. 5 sisters. He was one of the young kids in the family, so you know he's got some toughness if he can survive 5 sisters in that family. But
well, make the female audience mad at you there, Kevin.
I've got 3 daughters, so I know what I'm talking about. But listen to this. The 2 boys, one is at Notre Dame.
Right.
So think of that education. And Thomas and Betty Jones is at UVA, and we all know what that costs. I mean, those are pretty good schools to go to, just in academics alone, let alone playing football.
All the hard work that they did when those kids were 2 and 3 years old is now paying off. And like you said, they probably saved themselves a couple $100,000.
Well, I'll tell you what, is when you hear them talk about their children, their kids, you can see why their boys have turned out so well in terms of athletics, because they have their priorities straight.
And we told you before he's from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. And to show you what kind of kid he is outside of football, he was voted class president his sophomore, his junior, and his senior year.
Now, wait a minute, how can you have that? I thought you weren't even eligible until you got to be a senior, Sam. I never even made the list.
If you live in Big Stone Gap,
you can do a lot there.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 1, 2 tight ends from the 29. McMullen, the freshman, in motion to the bottom of your screen. Jones again, diving and close to the 1st down. He was whacked on the play by Franklin. For more information on how subscription computing can change the way you buy computers and internet services, Log on to MicronPC.com. Kevin Harlan, Sam White, Trev Alberts, Craig Sager here in Miami. The home of the Miami Dolphins in the National Football League, the home of the Florida Marlins in Major League Baseball. Tonight, a perfect setting for a college football bowl game. 1st and 10. Dan Ellis, who hails from Pennsylvania, throwing down the middle. That ball batted down by Mike McGee. 6'3½", lunging at the pass. 2nd down and 10.
Mike McGee in that one of those big defensive interior linemen. I think this is going to be Mike coming right there. Actually, I missed him up. There he is right there. He's going to stand up. Now, he gets cut, but watch him. He's going to time the throw. When that quarterback winds, if the quarterback's arm goes down, you start your jump, because by the time it comes up over the top, you're at your apogee. That's your highest point.
Mike McGee is a great effort player.
Apogee. What was that?
Yeah, you're jumping real good.
2nd down and 10. Thomas Jones, the elusive senior running back, is up to the 41 on a gain of 9. Brought down by Mike Young, and close to a 1st down for the Cavaliers as we're nearing the 2-minute mark of the 1st quarter.
1st and 10 is incomplete. You end up 2nd and long. You can still hand the ball off to a guy like Thomas Jones. But look at the movement. I used to ask my lineman, please give that running back the first 3 yards, and he'll make the rest. They gave him about the first 6. If you got a guy like that, he'll make another 6 for you on a normal occasion.
Well, you see he's at 6 yards a carry already, averaged 5.4 for the season. So he's been getting it done all year.
We do get the 1st down up to the 41-yard line. Look for a pass here on 1st and 10. Looking at a blitz. And the handoff goes to Jones. He got a great block on the play. And he runs down the sideline to the Illinois 37-yard line. Abdullah makes the tackle. A gain of 22 by Thomas Jones.
And it was Eric Gunther right up the middle trying to come up and blitz. He's shooting the gap. And watch the cutback now when he reads it. That's vision. That means you're not squinting your eyes and flinching at the line of scrimmage.
Ramel Connor, the defensive end for Illinois, has got to keep contained out there. When you got a guy like Thomas Jones, you can't take anything for granted. He'll cut back all the way past where you're supposed to be.
How in the world this kid finished 8th in the Heisman Trophy balloting is beyond me. From the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Ellis on the reverse. It comes the other way. Tavon Mason fumbles it. Loose. Grab by Illinois. Looked like Tony Francis had it, but the Illinois Fighting Illini come up with it, and with it, Johnny Rogers, the senior from Linwood, Illinois.
Just a straight reverse. Ball first goes to Jones, who's going to hand off right here, coming around the other side. That's Tavon Mason, the fastest receiver on the Virginia team. And he looks like he just lets the ball go right there, trying to gain his balance. His knee hits the ball.
Well, I like the call by George Welsh, though. What a great call. You're getting down there, you've pounded the football. Now you got him trying to get to the football. You run the reverse. Great call.
So Illinois has fumbled, and now Virginia fumbles. Virginia's had 2 major problems. A penalty, which sustained an Illinois drive, and the handoff to Steve Havard on 1st down. As he pierces the 24, picks up 2, 2nd down and 8 coming up. Shannon Taylor makes the tackle, and now that fumble by Virginia. So 2 problems here in the 1st quarter for them.
Turnovers will eat you alive, as anybody that follows football knows. Now they got Steve Havard in there. This is the bigger of the 2 running backs. Harvey, number 23, is the faster, smaller guy. Havard is the pounder, tackle-to-tackle type runner.
2nd down and 8 near the 25. Kittner down the middle to the hands of his running back Cook, and incomplete, almost swiped by Stoops. Number 5.
Uncharacteristic of Jameel Cook. He has terrific hands. He's their red zone receiver down there too, out of the backfield.
And he's from Miami. In fact, when he was playing high school football in Miami, Cook, number 34, was the number 1 running back in the city.
Now's when your quarterback, your passing arm comes back into play, and that offensive line against the defensive line. Everything happens right up front.
It's 3rd and 8 near the 25. Great time for Kittner. Fires a pass which is caught by the freshman Brandon Lloyd. recruited as a cornerback, stayed there 5 practices, and Ron Turner said, hey, this is a wide receiver, and you can see the kind of effect he's had on the passing game.
I've been in those meetings when you're arguing about who's going to get who. This ball's going to be thrown to the right side to Brandon Lloyd, who is a 7-foot 1-inch high jumper. Didn't need his jumping ability on that one. But you can imagine the defense would like to have him on their side as well.
So he picks up 9 on 3rd and 8. He hails from suburban Kansas City. 1st and 10. From the 33, Kittner again. Moving up, winding up, going deep for Michael Dean. Incomplete pass, coverage by Stukes. The best cover corner on the Cavaliers. 2nd down and 10.
Doing a great job. You just watch Illinois offensively, the things that they're doing. They throw the 3-step drops. They get you lulled to sleep. Then all of a sudden, they'll go deep. They get back in the I formation, pound the football, give you so many different things to try to defend. Kittner doing pretty well, already 7 out of 11.
And they do it from a lot of formations, but with their regular personnel in the game. But they'll look like a spread offense, like 4 wide receivers, but the tight end will be split out, a running back will be split out. A lot of defensive problems for Virginia.
Good start for Kittner as a rushing touchdown himself. 2nd down and 10. And the handoff to Rocky Harvey. Spinning and fumbling the ball. And recovered, it looks like, by Illinois at the Virginia 48-yard line. With 15 seconds to play in the first quarter, Thomas Jones was set to go back out on the field and recovered by the Illini after a big gain by Harvey.
Big hit by coming. There's the hit right there on the spin. And that's where I think the ball started to kind of come a little bit dislodged, and then the next hit knocks it loose.
And Aaron Moorhead, number 86, the wide receiver, fell on it, a freshman from Deerfield, Illinois. And the clock running down in our first quarter, finding Illinois on top of Virginia 14-7.
Warning against Illinois, their first.
Sideline warning. Too many players not back far enough on the side.
And of course, when you got well, listen, I spent half my time saying, get back, get back. You know, I used to have a coach that was really the get 'em back coach, and his job was to get 'em back.
Make it the strength coach, the big fella.
What does a get 'em back coach get paid?
He was the lowest paid guy on the squad. Yeah. In fact, he had to pay us to get. It's like a free ticket for him.
Explosive Illinois with 2 rushing touchdowns. On top at the end of 1 over Virginia, 14-7.
A significant discovery in eye health may be lutein, a nutrient found in these healthy foods. Now Centrum has the only leading multivitamins with lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Centrum Silver, now more complete with lutein.
What is the sound of the future? TI Programmable DSP, bringing unprecedented quality to internet music. Any standard, anytime, anywhere. From the world leader in digital and analog, Texas Instruments.
Just in time for the holidays at Circuit City. Get an instant $400 toward any Circuit City purchase when you sign up for 3 years of CompuServe 2000 Premier Internet Service, only $21.95 per month. Just sign up at Circuit City, and we'll hand you a $400 merchandise card instantly, good toward anything in our store. Apply your $400 merchandise card to a computer, camcorder, big screen TV, or refrigerator. It's $400 of whatever you want, only at Circuit City.
Welcome back to Miami, the MicronPC.com Bowl, with Illinois getting a 47-yard touchdown run by their sophomore running back Rocky Harvey on top of UVA, 14-7. Illinois 7-4 in the Big Ten, and UVA with the 7th winningest active coach George Welsh, 7-4 from the ACC. Kevin Harlan, Trev Alberts, Sam White, and Craig Sager from Miami. It's 1st and 10. Kittner moving up. Gets by the umpire, and then goes colliding into a defensive back and then gives him a ride. Jerton Evans. An 11-yard scrambling run by the sophomore quarterback, Kurt Kittner.
Now that's why I like Kurt Kittner as a defense guy. Take a look at him here under heavy pressure. He feels the pressure, moves up in the pocket. Virginia did a nice job of covering the wide receiver. But take a look here. I don't know that Ron Turner wants him to do that, but that's your safety. He's running over the safety, Coach.
Yeah, but did you see the neat move he made on that umpire is what I'm looking at. He had him picking up all kinds of equipment after that.
Kittner used to that kind of collision. He was a high school linebacker as well as being a high school quarterback from the 38 of UVA. Illinois 1st and 10. Some play action. Kittner going deep for the freshman Lloyd. And intercepted by Dwayne Stoops. Did he catch it at the goal line? He was in the end zone. It's a touchback, luckily for Virginia. Back to the 20, the second Illinois turnover. Dwayne Stoops, whose dad played Charles Stoops in the NFL with the Colts and Rams, makes his daddy proud with that play right there.
The impetus of the ball took Stoops into the end zone. That brings it out as a touchback out to the 25-yard line. One-on-one with Brandon Lloyd going down the side. Play action in the backfield.
He did a great job of sticking with it. Was beaten there, stayed with it, kept it, turned his head around, and got the interception.
He could sense when the ball was on its way down by the reaction of the receiver.
I slave for you. I get hit over 100,000 times a day. But do you even care? You will when I go 404 and start turning clients away. They say I'm your server. But perhaps it should be the other way around.
Do you really have time for this? We do. Introducing subscription computing from MicronPC.com. We'll expand your web capacity so you can expand your business.
There's a lot more to working at AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
Why do you think my father put me in charge? Be a man. You got old. Be a man. I'm gonna call your mama.
You gonna call my mama? If you're gonna act like a loser, raise your hand. What are you doing, Jay?
I didn't want you to be the only person with his hand raised, Coach.
Any Given Sunday, an Oliver Stone film. Rated R. Now playing.
The MicronPC.com Bowl on the Superstation is brought to you by MicronPC.com. Learn how subscription computing from MicronPC.com can change the way you buy computers and internet services.
Gorgeous night here in Miami. The MicronPC.com Bowl, 14-7 Illinois. Their quarterback, Kurt Kittner, just threw an interception after a Virginia fumble, so they counter right there. A couple tight ends here for the Cavaliers from the 20-yard line. The interception was made in the end zone. Dan Ellis from Exton, Pennsylvania, hands off to Thomas Jones, who staggers ahead, getting a couple yards on the play. Ramel Connor at the bottom of the pile picks up a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Penetration across the line by that defense. Connor's the guy that time. Okay, if you get on the other side of the ball, that offensive unit has practiced all week on hitting those dummies about a yard deep down the field, and suddenly you come to make your turn up and you're face to face with a guy a yard the other way. That's what usually ends up, 2nd and 8.
Now from just outside the 21. Ellis back to pass, hit as he throws, downfield, incomplete. Looking for wide receiver Demetrius Johnson, a junior from Staten Island, New York. Coverage applied by Asim Plez.
Plez has got one-on-one. Now Plez is coming from the inside. He's a safety. See him come out from the inside. Going up and over. Ball just a little bit out of the reach of everybody. And down on the field, as we watch that replay, one of the offensive linemen. And he looks to be in a little bit of pain. Would you say, Trev?
Josh Lawson, the left offensive tackle, had been hurt throughout the season.
Number 52, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
He's right up here.
Left knee, it looked like. Huh?
Ramel Connor came around getting pressure on Dan Ellis on the ground, hit him on that knee. And Josh Lawson fought injuries all season long.
Just a sophomore, and we have an injury timeout here in Miami.
Andy, 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 we're in love with you. Gosh, Bob. With Andy's here, let's dance and cheer the whole night through.
It's the Mayberry Marathon, all New Year's Eve on the Superstation. Starts Friday morning at 6:15.
Andy!
We've got a special delivery that'll make your dreams come true.
You're not the first guy to tell me that.
HBO The Works brings you bundles of hits, powerful originals, outrageous sports, and a comedy special to keep you laughing into the next millennium.
That's what's really going on here, baby.
It's entertainment all wrapped up in 7 great channels.
Ooh.
Wow.
Treat yourself to HBO The Works on DirecTV.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents Ultimate New Year's Eve 1999. 6 hours of action, 6 hours of excitement, 6 hours of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. These are the greatest fights and the greatest fighters to ever enter the octagon. Kick off your millennium with Ultimate New Year's Eve 1999. Friday, December 31st on Direct Ticket.
CNN will usher in the new year live from every time zone on the planet with 60 of its top correspondents bringing you the global celebrations. Millennium 2000, 100 hours of non-stop coverage on CNN.
First team college All-America a season ago as a freshman. Josh Lawson is out looking at the left knee, so now they move LaMontagne to left tackle. Sophomore Jared Woodson becomes the left guard, and Woodson has started left guard this year. Third and a long 8. Here as he throws, the pass is caught by the tight end, Billy Baber. 19-yard gain. He was whacked by Ramel Connor, was quarterback Dan Ellis. Sticking in the pocket. Baber gets the first down.
I can see Dan Ellis standing in here, stands in tall, gets drilled. Remember, he got drilled earlier in the season, had to sit out a game, but still completed the pass. This guy's a tough competitor.
David Rivers had to come in and play that very next ball game. Won it for him.
There's a first down for the Cavaliers outside their 40-yard line. Ellis winding up, going deep, looking for Billy McMullen, a freshman. Incomplete. Coverage applied by Tony Francis.
Remember when we talked to Gary Tranquill, the offensive coordinator, he really felt that they had to go deep against this Illinois secondary. They had to challenge them deep. The problem they've had all year is getting their wide receivers to get some separation, but they had to find a way to get long passes and loosen up that Illinois defense for Thomas Jones.
There's the offensive coordinator.
Gary Tranquill was with the Cleveland Browns for a while in the early 90s.
And the guy to go deep is the guy they threw to, Billy McMullen.
Best freshman receiver they've had in the history of the program. Second down and 10. Thomas Jones. Quick tackle made by Jerry Schumacher. A freshman from Chicago whose dad played football at Michigan, and it continues with his son in the Big Ten at Illinois. Loss of 3 on the play.
That is called contained defense. He's coming up hard up the outside, and his job is to get across and contain, which he does right there. Thomas Jones, as good as he is, can't get anything there.
I'm impressed with this Illinois defense, Coach. I mean, they have come to play. They've been aggressive. They've done pretty well against the run, played well against the pass.
They've done it with 7 up front, not always 8 people around the ball, too.
Now 3 receivers, the play clock at 0, as you can see, and there'll be a delay of game called on the Cavaliers.
Delay a game on the offense.
Part of that's getting the play in, getting the right personnel in the ball game after a big hit like that. Got to get your call in. The quarterback's got to get everybody organized up. Again, this is Gary Tranquill right here in the middle. He actually, Coach Welsh told us, he said he's a better coach when he came back after a little stint there with the pros.
Third down 17 from the 34, moving up, evading the rush, and a pass almost wrestled by Jones, incomplete. coverage on the play by Danny Clark, and the Virginia penalty killed him on that drive. They've got to punt the ball.
Penalties and turnovers have been part of the story of this ball, as they always are in any football game.
And the quarterback isn't hitting. He's 2 of 7 as Dan Ellis.
One of the things you're going to see here, Coach, is 2 guys returning the punt for Illinois. Eugene Wilson, clearly the best guy. Also, Brandon Lloyd, number 6.
He's their wide receiver.
Donnie Scott will punt. And this will be retrieved by Eugene Wilson. Runs up the middle, takes it up to the 30-yard line. He is a freshman from Merrillville, Indiana. And he is going to set a new punt return record with just 4 more yards. Timeout.
Pentium 3 processor owners, we designed a website just for you. Intel's Web Outfitter service. Everything you need for a great internet experience. Rock with your favorite bands for live concert webcasts. Share family adventures. Explore the tallest mountains in the world. Live your life on the web to the fullest. Intel's Web Outfitter service. Get it now. Free at Intel.com.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
There's no better time than now to get the good life at Sears, so don't miss out on the best time to buy. Get 0% financing on all home appliances over $399 till January 2001 when you use your Sears card. Or you can choose free delivery. Take this Kenmore washer and dryer. Save $120 on the pair. It doesn't get any better than the best time to buy. At Sears, the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
I'm in the shipping business. Precious cargo. I can't afford to be distracted by a headache. So I take Advil every time. It's strong enough to get the job done. I never take chances. I take Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain.
Illinois leading Virginia 14-7. The Cavaliers touchdown scored by Thomas Jones. And with me, his younger brother Julius, watching him for the first time in person this year. That was a tough series, this last one. Got caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Virginia, they're playing good. They're just hurting them, killing themselves. They're shooting themselves in the foot, with turnovers and mistakes. But, they just got to cut back on some of that, and they'll be all right.
We'll get back down to you, Craig, in a second. From the 31, Illinois, first down and 10. Cook in motion. And the handoff goes to Rocky Harvey. And he picks up 3. Tackle made by Thweet. Back down to Craig.
We first saw your brother after an injury to Tiki Barber in this game 3 years ago. You burst on the scene as a freshman at Notre Dame, leading in all-purpose yardage. You got your chance early. What do you expect out of your career?
I expect to have a good career, my first year. It was something unexpected. I got out, got a lot of playing time. And, I got to, this spring, I got to, just to show what I can do, earn my starting position. I want to start this year, but I got to earn it. So,
thanks a lot, Boy and the Jones family at halftime.
All right, Craig, thank you. Second down and 7. Kittner with the blitz on. Looks into the teeth of the defense and throws a pass incomplete for tight end Brian Hodges. Meanwhile, while we were away on that interview, Rocky Harvey, their running back, has been taken off the field and to the sideline, favoring it looked like his right leg.
Didn't see exactly how that happened, but as you can see, he doesn't want to put any pressure on that leg. Trainers don't want him to put any pressure. They get over there and quiet it down and see what is wrong. I don't want to speculate on how serious that is, but they're taking the shoe off, and it looks like they're working on the left ankle.
Third down and 7 from the 34. From the shotgun formation. First time we've seen it tonight from Kittner.
3 receivers to the right.
Great blocking by the tackle. Wide open, the wide receiver, Michael Dean. The leading receiver, his 45th catch right there. That's a gain of 36 yards.
We talked about those young safeties going into the game. Not only gets worse, Chris Williams breaks his hand in practice. Now newbies in the game. Just gets behind the safeties, gets behind Isabel. A great catch by Dean.
The nearest guy to him is middle linebacker Isabel. Dean told the coach this spring, just give me a chance. I'll prove you wrong. I can make that 105-man squad.
Rick Lance told us they'd struggled with mental mistakes from his safeties because of their youth. Going to have to stay back. Don't let anybody get behind you.
He's playing back home from nearby Key West. 1st and 10. End around, and a former high school quarterback, Lloyd, throwing, and it's caught by the quarterback. Kittner, touchdown! Oh, what a play!
Oh, boy.
A flag has been thrown in the end zone.
They're having too much fun in there.
And there's the quarterback's mom, Lee.
That's something we've seen from Ron Turner all year. He's not afraid to go for it on 4th and 1. He does fake field goals, fake punts. Again, another trick play. Shows you the athletic ability of Kurt Kittner.
Remember, the quarterback is an eligible receiver.
And as a defensive player, so many times
you good, followed by an unsportsmanlike celebration foul against the scoring team. It'll be 15 yards. The try will be from the 18.
Yeah, see, I just don't like that call right there. It's college football. Let the kids have some fun. But Kurt Kittner as a quarterback, so many times as a defensive player, he's the guy uncounted for. Never do you think the quarterback's going to go slipping out in the backfield to catch the football.
Well, now, because of the penalty, we have a 35-yard extra point try by Neil Rackers, who knocked a couple 52-yarders in during practice before the game tonight. The hold from Steve Fitz. And he's perfect. It's too bad it only counts for a point.
We knew he had the leg, though, right?
He does. Well, razzle-dazzle by Illinois and Ron Turner.
Baked it initially to Havard off the left side, and here's Lloyd throwing it back. This ball is actually not just one of those extra throws. It's in stride for the touchdown.
The Illini on top.
Isn't the internet wonderful? Isn't it a fabulous way to do business? Isn't it time this company got on it? I can't configure myself, you know. Sheesh.
Do you really have time for this? We do. Introducing subscription computing from MicronPC.com. Our fully configured NetNow server can have you on the internet in 15 minutes. NetNow servers feature Intel Celeron processors.
Some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant. Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful Ultra Dry form releases extra protection.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on, Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Teacher and pupil Ron Turner, whose brother Norv Turner is the coach of the Washington Redskins. You'll see something about that later on in our broadcast tonight. And Kurt Kittner, a sophomore, who just caught a touchdown pass from his freshman wide receiver, Brandon Lloyd.
They practiced that, I'll bet you, all week. And Kittner's telling Lloyd, if I'm open, man, you better hit me. I know where your dorm room is.
Neil Rackers knocks it in the end zone, and the Cavaliers have a tough time getting it. 3 kickoffs, 3 touchbacks. Rackers having a great night. Here it goes again.
All right, now he's going to end up right down the sideline, faking off the left side. There's Lloyd coming back around. I see him look down the field. That freezes the defense. If he looks too early, they'll fall back to the quarterback. All the way into the end zone. Now here's the penalty afterwards. It's not the celebration. He threw the ball. Kittner threw the ball into the stands. And we have gotten word just in that the Walton family from outside of Chicago, Illinois, caught it. This lady right here, Mrs. Walton, she was forced under duress to give the ball back.
And a 1st and 10 handoff goes to Thomas Jones. A penalty flag was thrown on the play. Holding is the call. It's against Virginia. Wipe it away.
And Walton is obviously an alias. We don't know their names.
Well, you made that up.
Yeah, it was a trick. I didn't.
Oh, I thought you knew. I thought, man,
You're
Sam,
so easy. You are so easy.
Sam has done his homework tonight. He knows the name of the people in the crowd.
Holding on the offense, penalize half the distance, repeat first down.
Aerial views tonight courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. On New Year's Eve, Goodyear will have 6 blimps providing pictures from around the world on the arrival of the new millennium.
This is an offense that cannot afford holding penalties. You've got to be able to get in second and third and shorts.
A lot of pressure on that guy, Dan Ellis, when they get like this.
And he has not had a good passing night from a 10, first and 20. Thomas Jones up the middle and brought down from behind by Brandon Moore, a sophomore from Gary, Indiana, on a gain of 6. That'll be second down and 14.
Well, when it's second down and first down and 20, still the best option you have is give the ball to Thomas Jones and hope that he can make a play.
Well, I think that's right. We're still in the first half. They're down 14 points, but you keep giving him the ball and you can get back into it. You have plenty of time left.
Back in the shotgun here.
Second down and 14 from the 17. Good block by Barnes, the tackle. That goes to Jones, who breaks one tackler and then is finally brought down by Mike Young. A gain of 3 on the play. Third down and 11. Let's check in with Craig Sager downstairs.
Well, Josh Lawson, the offensive tackle for Virginia, has a sprained knee. He's in the locker room right now to be diagnosed at halftime. For Illinois, Johnny Rogers has a sprained ankle. He should return. And the same with Rocky Harvey. They both have had their ankles retaped, and they should be back in the game.
Thank you, Craig. Third down and 10.
It may be late December, but they're still hitting. You don't get injuries like that without some real contact.
On the 20. Dan Ellis, great time. Another good block by Barnes. Here comes the rush. There goes the pass. Almost picked off on the play by Trayvon Waller. The junior college transfer and a kid from Los Angeles who has been a great player in the secondary for the Illini this year. The Cavaliers have got a punt, and again, a penalty hurts them.
And Dan Ellis, at the end of that play, I'm sure he could feel the pressure closing in on him, and he let the ball go real quick. We were talking to Coach earlier, and he said we're working on not only his motion, his arm strength, but his grip. Sometimes that ball just flies on him, and it did right there.
Donnie Scott, whose dad played college football at Marshall, will get it away. Deep back, Eugene Wilson from the 30-yard line. Brought down and cannot set the Illini punt return record. No return on the play. A 50-yard punt. Antoine Harris with the tackle for the Cavaliers. Nice punt by Donnie Scott, who played college basketball at Catholic University before transferring to Virginia to punt football. We take a break here in Miami.
Hi, I'm University of Illinois tight end Josh Whitman. As a Big Ten school, people think we're all about football, but Illinois is about academics first. We have the largest public university library in the country, and our alums have won 10 Nobel Prizes and 17 Pulitzers. Yes, at the University of Illinois, you'll find our focus is solely on education. Right, Dean Riley?
You are so right, Josh.
The University of Illinois. Academics first. Football, a close second.
I wonder what would happen if my beer was ever lost or stolen. I mean, how would I be able to prove it's mine? So I'm thinking, mine's the one with the head that's exactly 2.3 fingers thick. It's the one with the color that stops sunlight dead in its tracks. And it's the one that never, ever tastes watered down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could pick my beer out of a police lineup if I had to. Ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste. Ice House. Enjoy.
The romantic thriller Goodbye Lover on Direct Ticket.
In the language of betrayal.
Why am I taking these chances?
This means I love you.
Hi, Ben.
This means it's over. This means we're rich.
$1 million.
I can't believe we're actually doing this.
Jake and Peggy were having an affair.
I want you to kill my wife.
And this means goodbye.
One bike, two bodies.
One's regular, one's extra crispy.
Goodbye Lover on Direct Ticket. Only on Direct TV.
Illinois on top, 21-7. Coming up Saturday, January 22nd, 2:05. It's the North against the South, the 51st annual Senior Bowl from Mobile, Alabama, catch the NFL stars of tomorrow like Georgia Tech's Joey Hamilton, Tennessee's T. Martin, defensive end Sean Alexander from Alabama, and more. And that's the Senior Bowl on TBS, January 22 at 2:05 right here. From the 30-yard line after the 50-yard punt by Virginia, 1st and 10. Good block, giving Kittner time, and wide open is running back Jameel Cook, who runs outside. The clock continues to tick. He's up to the 37-yard line. Cook is a sophomore from Miami, and his mother watching him play tonight in this stadium for the first time ever as a football player. High school, Pop Warner, you name it. This is the first time.
Good for her.
You see 22 receptions there. Really does a good job of catching the ball in the backfield. Actually, Kittner had 2 guys. Whitman was wide open a little bit deeper.
2nd down and 3. It's Cook again. We just talked about him as he runs into the grasp of Angelo Crowell. Move from fullback to running back. And there you take a look at Angelo Crowell. His brother plays for the Detroit Lions in the NFL. Yeah.
The coaches told us this young man has a chance to be special. They wish he had the height that his brother had. He's only 6'1", but this young man's a great athlete. There's been a lot of great linebackers at Virginia. He'll continue the tradition.
I'll tell you, at his height, he had leverage that time on Tony Pashos, the right tackle for Illinois, and he held him right at the line of scrimmage. Now Pashos is 300+ pounds. He didn't move him off the line.
It's 3rd and 1 from the 40 for the Illini. The fake handoff. Great block by Havard. Outside for Cook. He's got the first down. Rumbling down the side. With room to roam. Being chased by Newby into the end zone for an Illini touchdown.
Well, that's what makes Illinois so tough to defend. They get the 2 tight end sets. You think it's got to be a run. They slip 34 in the flat. Throw him the football, and he runs the rest of the way. Poor tackling by Virginia.
There was an outstanding block by Havard in the backfield, and with that touchdown pass, he just broke the University of Illinois touchdown passing record of Jeff George. Rackers puts it through. Great catch and run by Jameel Cook. Watch the block.
He's going to come in the flat.
Everybody up trying to stop the run.
Havard with the block right there.
Now down the sideline, and I'll bet you his mom is standing up in her seat right now in the stadium, like the rest of the Illinois fans.
Sweet had a shot at him.
Look in the flat. You see, once you get full, that play action is what holds it. That's the quarterback and the offensive line giving a cell fake. Newby was fighting on it just a little bit too quick, the safety.
That's that freshman safety up, biting on the run, lets him get behind him.
He didn't quit, though. He got almost caught him there at the goal line.
Craig, what do you have?
Well, you mentioned this is the first time his mother, Gwen Cook Flowers, had seen him play in person. She didn't like what she saw at the beginning. If you remember, the first time he touched the ball, he fumbled. And she was saying, oh, no, no. But now she is happy, and he has spent a lot of time over her house this week because she has been making his favorite meal, turkey necks, collard greens, and macaroni and cheese.
Looks like they worked on that bicep pretty much.
Thank you, Craig. Great job. And after the touchdown reception, here's the kickoff by Rackers. Into the end zone again. This kid has got a cannon. 4 kickoffs, 4 touchbacks. He's incredible. Rackers, a player who is from Florissant, Missouri, lives in the St. Louis area, and has been under the leadership of former NFL kicker Pat Leahy.
Yeah, Coach Turner told us that they really have to almost worry about this guy. He wants to run down there. Take a look at him here. He kicks off. He wants to get down there and make the tackle. I saw him before the game without the pads on, got the sleeve rolled up, showing off the guns. This isn't your typical kicker guy. This guy wants to play some football.
And he was a walk-on and had to earn that scholarship.
On the 21st and 10, Thomas Jones outside picks a tackle on the play from Waller, and then wants the ball at the 30-yard line, and they blow him dead. It's Virginia's ball halfway through the second quarter. Danny Clark made the tackle for the Illini, and George Walsh is wondering what happened to my Cavaliers.
You want to know why Thomas Jones is the best running back in college football? You saw it right there. It's the multi-purpose back. Catches the ball out of the backfield. It's a scat back, a power runner. There's nothing that Thomas Jones can't do as a running back.
Made that first guy miss, too, that we talked about earlier. They don't block everybody. The Virginia blocking scheme sometimes will leave one guy unblocked, and that's for him to make miss, and he can do it.
First and 10. He's got 88 yards, does Jones, from the 30-yard line. Option play. Ellis will take it himself and dive past the 40-yard line. Tackled by Ples. Ellis is kind of an interesting story. His uncle played running back at Navy when Welsh was there.
Well, I like the call by Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator. The passing game hasn't been successful, but you need another option for Thomas Jones. You come in with the option, something you haven't shown a lot of so far this year.
What they need right here is a drive to get down and get on the scoreboard before the half here with 6.5 minutes to go. So pull out some of those plays you haven't used and that Illinois hasn't seen before.
On the 42, first and 10. Great time in the pocket. Ellis goes long. Right through the hands of the tight end, Casey Crawford. A big hit put on him by Muhammad Abdullah.
You know, is it just me or does that ball look slick to anybody else out here? Seems like there's a lot of fumbles and a lot of second grabs for the receptions. Casey Crawford's the tight end. He's going to be coming off this left side to the corner.
Ball is right where it has to be.
Boy, laces were down is the only problem with that one. But the ball does seem to be a little bit loose.
George Welsh said that's a problem with his pass, that the nose of the football goes down instead of staying up, making it an easy catch.
Comes in a little bit hard.
Second down and 10. Ellis wrapped up and inhaled inside. The sack by Ramel Connor. And Mike McGee. That's the first sack as McGee came in and finished him off.
Mike McGee has had up the middle, has had really a good solid ball game. Here he comes. He's going to come shooting straight up. He just beats the one-on-one block coming around the outside. But look at the explosion, the close at the end. Trev, you know you're one of these guys. It's that last 2.5, 3 yards. You can get there before the ball gets off.
Well, he uses his hands very well. Gets into the offensive guard and gets rid of him. And that's the backup. Woodson, 64, in for the injured player.
Good point. 3rd and 17 from the 35. And looked like some movement on the line.
Just about the time Virginia starts to move, something like this happens to them, or a penalty.
Timeout. Illinois. Their first timeout.
Illini call a timeout. Let's see. Illinois has 2 timeouts remaining. Virginia has 2. And for more information on how subscription computing can change the way you buy computers and internet services, log on to MicronPC.com. Got a great halftime for you. Craig Sager takes a very special look at Thomas Jones along with Illinois quarterback Kirk Kittner and his tight bond with his mother. We'll also announce this year's recipient of the Bobby Dodd Award for the College Coach of the Year. There are a ton of guys out there you can give it to. Great job by Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech.
Well, I'm a voter in that award, proud to say.
Well, who'd you vote for?
Yeah, I voted for Frank Beamer. I really thought, you know, the talent that he's assembled down there in Blacksburg, what a great job. And Michael Vick, what a special football player. He has made that team what it is. He's the reason why they're in the Sugar Bowl.
Bill Snyder at Kansas State's a guy you got to consider. They won the Holiday Bowl last night out in San Diego over Rick Neuheisel's Huskies of Washington.
How about June Jones out there in Hawaii? The biggest single turnaround. That program didn't win a game, and you know a little bit about June Jones.
Yeah, I'd be prejudiced voting for him because I'm pulling for some of those old NFL alums. You know, when you're not in the league, whether you lost your job or left, I lost mine twice. But when you lose it, you keep following those guys that pulling for him.
After the Illinois timeout, 3rd and 17, he gets away from Wakefield, and Ellis now being chased on the play by Testall. Gets away from Connor, then Testall gets him from behind. His second sack of the season, the senior from Morris, Illinois, would not be denied. And he picked up 3 on the play.
Well, you're starting to see Dan Ellis in his shotgun an awful lot, and that's not a good sign for this Virginia offense. This offense is built around pounding the football with Thomas Jones.
You're seeing Ellis getting hit a lot, too, even if he gets the ball away.
Donnie Scott the punt. Eugene Wilson is deep. And a bad snap. Here comes the rush. It's blocked on the play by Mark Jackson. It's caught on the play by Illinois' Antonio Harris, a backup running back. And again, another low snap. And another Virginia mistake.
The ball really never gets about half. Well, I guess it's 3/4 of the way there, but he does take a skip. Doesn't come up clean. Donnie Scott tries to get it off right at the last second, but you know what? This looks like the snap before, although he handled the snap prior to this.
This is the second time it's happened. You know, punting has been a little bit crazy for this football team. Sometimes it's a great punt, sometimes it's a shank. They've had trouble with this all year long.
Will Thompson with the snap, and a bad one it was. Yep, you're not going to get rid of that ball from the hands of Antonio Harris. Now from the 20-yard line of UVA, the Illinois Fighting Illini hand it off, and it's Havard tumbling down the middle, takes it to about the 14-yard line, picks up 6 on the play with Stoops making the tackle.
Jameel Cook making a terrific block right at the point of attack after making that nice run for a touchdown a moment ago.
You know, Ron Turner told us that the first thing he noticed when he got to Illinois was the offensive line. No numbers, and they weren't very good. I tell you what, this is a young offensive line so far. Butkus and company doing a nice job.
Trev, what do you say? He looked up at the board when he left the Chicago Bears, went to Illinois, he had 7 offensive linemen?
He had 7 quarterbacks on scholarship and 9 offensive linemen. Not even too deep.
Second down and 4. Right through the middle. Slingsing his way to the 4-yard line is Havard. A 10-yard gain. It's 1st and goal to go for Illinois.
Left side of that line, they're just making contact and then separating the defensive line. Not as much driving them down the field as they are just separating and making those holes open up.
Well, Virginia is certainly on their heels. Illinois is dictating everything they want to do. They throw, they run, and Virginia is simply catching. At some point, you got to attack.
Rick Lance, defensive coordinator for Virginia. A lot on his mind right here. Number 49, Chris Hoffman. Ball usually goes where he goes.
It's Havard. Good block by Cook. Havard digs his way in for 6. A 5-yard touchdown run by Havard. And Jameel Cook gave a nice lead block right into the end zone, and the Cavaliers again cannot hold out Illinois.
They've got a good team rolling right now. Virginia has on their hands. They can't afford these mistakes they're making, giving up field position and not keeping the ball long enough to get a defense a rest.
Rackers with the extra point. Let's watch it again, but watch the block. Lead block by Cook.
There's Cook. He's going to lead block. Now right here is going to be Hoffman. He's the guy that tells you where it's going to go. It's going to the left side. Cook's block, number 34. And the feet don't stop. That's nice. You know, you practice that against the old Carruthers sled over in training camp. two-a-day workouts. Drive, drive, drive.
You can see that whole Virginia defensive line just get shoved right back into the end zone. Great job again by that offensive line. Isn't it nice having 2 running backs? You can have a Havard who's just a power runner up the middle. Then you bring in the Rocky Harvey. I mean, what a great combination they have.
Then you get this kid who lead blocks and catches passes. He's a great third dimension.
And only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Virginia trying to find the right answers. I tell you, you just look at them. They've got that look like they've been stunned. 2x4 across the nose. Wake up, guys. You got here because you're 7-4. You came from behind to win. You scored a lot of points in the shootouts. You usually won them. Well, we're in a shootout now. Only Illinois got all the the only one with the gun loaded.
All right, here's Neil Rackers. All those kickoffs, all those touchbacks. Can he do it again? They leave it in there. He's 5 of 5. An incredible display by Neil Rackers. Rarely do we get excited over a guy and kickoff, but when he got a rocket like that, baby.
Rarely. It's my first time. I don't know. Plus, he runs down and crosses the goal line.
Well, they said in practice they use him as a tackling dummy. They let him have the football. He likes contact. I played with a lot of kickers in my days, and I don't know a lot of kickers, Coach, who like contact.
Well, this guy could have been he could have been on scholarship at the University of Kentucky with a scholarship with soccer. Was a walk-on here, earned the scholarship.
Look at that.
Works in the offseason with Pat Lay, as we said, in the St. Louis area.
They've had 7 possessions. They've had touchdowns on 5 of their 7 possessions tonight. An incredible display from the 20. 1st and 10. The pass outside, incomplete, looking for Tavon Mason.
And Ellis is just getting drilled. Now if you're Illinois, you know that they can't run the football. They're down too much. All you're going to do is pin your ears back. Take a look at Ellis here. Sitting back in the shotgun. Illinois says, hey, listen, I don't have to worry about the run. Boom. McGee and fellas come in and pound him to the ground.
McGee is having his way over there on the left side. Woodson in the lineup, as you mentioned earlier, after the injury to Lawson at left tackle. LaMontagne moves to left tackle, and Jared Woodson moves to left guard.
And that's LaMontagne on the field right now, one of their big-time players. Two-time first-team All-ACC.
But they just can't afford to lose that guy.
You know, they've had LaMontagne playing next to St. Clair, so you had two of your best offensive linemen there to work with, and that's been totally disrupted.
Coming up at halftime, Craig Sager takes a very special look at Thomas Jones, along with Kirk Kittner and his tight bond with his mother. We'll also announce this year's recipient of the Bobby Dodd Award for the College Coach of the Year. All with Craig Sager, all coming up at halftime here from Miami.
Well, you hate to see the trainers assisting anybody off the field. All that means is that he's in that leg, either ankle or knee, is unstable enough to put pressure on it. Well, here he comes, right up the chute. There's the pressure.
There's Neil LaMontagne just trying to anchor in the ground. Wakefield does a nice job of running over him to get to the quarterback.
You see that leg give way, though, that left leg.
Got you covered.
Boy, you hate to see that. Doesn't matter what part of the season you're in.
Now they get this kid, Mike Mullins, who is a redshirt freshman from Fall Mills, Virginia. And he replaces LaMontagne, who is a senior. So now they got two reserves on the left side of that offensive line. Second down and 10. Thomas Jones wrapped up and inhaled by Brandon Moore.
I promise you, Mike Mullins never dreamed that he'd be in this football game in the first half.
No.
Number 72 is at left tackle, and he will be there probably the rest of the ball game.
He's a tall rascal, isn't he? 6'7", 278 pounds. He's got to gain some weight. He's got all the physical dimensions of a nice tackle in the making.
Good call on that first play, though. Don't put the pressure on him to protect right away. Quick draw up the middle and try to get something.
Third down 7 from the 23. Good block by Mullins, the freshman. But a huge hit again put on him by McGee. There is no time to even breathe for junior quarterback Dan Ellis, who is a meager 3 of 12 with no completions to a wide receiver tonight.
And McGee's going to be coming from this side. The pressure that we thought would come would be from the left side, where Mullins is in there for his second play of the game. He did a pretty good job, though. Pushed the rush on by the quarterback, but when the quarterback stepped up, there was no more room in the end.
What kind of snap we're going to get here now? Low again. To the shot. Oh, it's almost blocked on the play. It is deflected. And it rumbled only a handful of yards upfield. 13. So deflected by Ivory Lewis. Ivory Lewis got a hand on it, deflects it. And again, the special teams go back to bite Virginia.
You know, sometimes that happens as a player. When something bad happens, now all of a sudden you're so concentrating on getting that back there, all of a sudden you bring the pressure and get after him. It's worked in the past. Look at that. Nice block, and all of a sudden Illinois is right back in business before the half.
The snaps are low and wide. Green is having a hard time tonight. And Illinois at the Cavalier 35. Pavard is a wide receiver, and Cook gets the call. Rocky Harvey battling a knee, a 3-yard gain by Cook. Tackle made by Staminich. For Virginia, second down and 7 upcoming.
Illinois will pound away, I would think, here with 2 minutes to go in the ballgame. They like to finish the half with possession of the ball and to score if they can get it.
There's Harvey on the sideline, who had a 47-yard touchdown earlier in the game tonight. Second down and 7 from
both teams have 2 timeouts apiece.
Cavalier 32. Good block by Cook. Affords time for Kittner. Wide open is freshman receiver Brandon Lloyd. Incomplete pass at the 1. Chris Williams defending.
Brandon Lloyd wide to the left. They're in that spread formation. Even though they got regular personnel in the game, he's going to come in and then up the field. Now watch him the bite. There's a pump fake from the quarterback right now, and then he goes up the field.
Well, that's what you do. All day you're doing those 3-step drops and slant. Then all of a sudden you do the pump fake. Boom, he had him beat.
In the spring, they had him lined up at defense. He said it took him 5 days to decide after watching him run terrific patterns like that he should be on the offensive side of the ball.
It wouldn't have taken you that long, Coach.
No, that probably taken me 2 weeks.
They're down in 7. Great time for Kittner. Wide open. He's got the reserve quarterback, Walter Young. He's a freshman from Park Forest, Illinois. A flag is down at the 42. Young, who is at 6'5", one of the top receivers on this team, doesn't see a lot of quarterback snaps. And they got a face mask on Virginia. Illinois will have it 1st and goal to go. Young is playing receiver, waiting his time at quarterback.
But make no mistake about it, this is a young man who's a great athlete. He's a good wide receiver, but he is going to be the quarterback of the future if he can just sit behind Kurt Kittner. Ron Turner told us he's an outstanding athlete, can do a lot of things, and he's helping this team as a freshman playing wide receiver.
Right in the face of Kittner that time was Johnny Shivers, got the face mask.
Roughing the passer. Penalty will be assessed at the end of the play. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal.
That's number 99. He's going to come from this part of your screen right there. Got the face mask.
Well, you're just starting to see some of the frustration of Virginia players. It's tough enough to get to a quarterback on all those 3-step drops, and you finally get there and you hit him late.
Chris Hoffman, number 49. Let's see if the ball goes where he goes. That'd be your scouting report.
The fake to Havard. Cook is wide open for another Illinois touchdown. They're making it look easy, guys. Very easy.
Well, they continue to come out in different formations, as you mentioned, though, Coach, using the same personnel, confusing those freshman safeties. Tough play, 34, but if you watch film many, many times in the red zone, they're going to go to Cook. You got to account for 34.
Rockers will try the extra point. Illinois is 1 point away from setting an all-time season scoring record. And Cook has his 2nd touchdown tonight, playing back in his hometown of Miami in front of his mom for the first time. And if you're Ron Turner, a guy who went 0-11 3 years ago in his first year as the head coach of the Illini, a desperate program. There's a look at Cook's mom up there.
Right.
He has a Chicago Bears hat on. You see that?
Well, you think this team looks good right now. This is a very, very young team. This is a team that's going to be challenging for the Big Ten title next year.
Started out without a win when he first came, Ron Turner did. 3 wins, and then this year 7-4. And
I remember watching them 3 years ago when they were 0-11. I mean, they were flat bad, guys. I'm not, overstating that. They couldn't do anything right. Well, he couldn't even line up.
He lasted with the Bears until through their season, so the big push for recruits was gone, so he had to inherit and use what he had.
How about the night this kid is having, though? Kurt Kittner, just a sophomore, 6'3", 205 pounds. Got to work on his arm strength, is the comment we heard from the coaches. I think he must have been working on it during the week. He's looking pretty good.
Rackers to the end zone for a 6th time. He kicks off a 6th touchback, and he crosses the goal line. 6 touchbacks on 6 kickoffs. Pretty impressive.
He's going to be tired at the end of this night. I mean, he has done like 6 40-yard sprints so far. He's going to have to stop doing that.
Rarely do you give a kicker an IV, but halftime, look out. Trainers, get ready.
Now, if you're Virginia, you get in the I formation. Just give the football to Thomas Jones and don't get your quarterback killed.
Get on back in there at halftime now.
Thomas Jones trying to follow a block of a depleted offensive line. John St. Clair is number 50. And a gain of 1. There's the high school player of the year in the state of Pennsylvania. The number 1 high school quarterback in the East chooses to play at Virginia. First year as a starter, but may get pulled at halftime tonight, and they may put in somebody else. This kid has had a tough go.
Very tough. David Rivers played in 1 ball game during the season.
He went to Georgia Tech and beat 8th-ranked Georgia Tech. So David Rivers is a good football player. Probably has a stronger arm than Ellis.
And he's a backup long snapper.
2nd down and 9. That is thrown in back of the twisting, contorted Anthony Southern. A senior from Whitedale, North Carolina. Mike Young, the linebacker with the coverage.
You know, I've had quarterbacks in games at the pro level, and once things start to roll like this, they start pointing everything, and therefore everything gets wilder and wilder. And if you keep getting hit like that, let me just tell you, you remember the last one, and when you line up again, you hear them coming. That's not being a coward. That's just understanding that's the nature of the game.
Now 3rd down and 9. 3 consecutive 3-and-outs by Virginia. Ellis throws outside. Pass is caught by Southern. Close to a 1st down.
And that's Tony Francis, number 33 at corner. Had a great year. Has worked on being more aggressive. You saw it there. Came up and laid a nice hit.
4 interceptions on the year.
An honorable mention, Big Ten.
You know, Illinois is now able to start rotating some of the defensive linemen, get fresh guys in, keep bringing guys at this offense, and don't let that offensive line get comfortable.
The dilemma for Virginia, of course, is they don't want to let up and concede this ball game, even though they're way behind in the first half.
1st and 10 from the 30. Ellis out of the pocket has a lead blocker in Jones. Pass is hauled in by freshman Billy McMullen. Abdullah with the hit. McMullen is a freshman. One of the top true freshman receivers in all of college football. In fact, broke Herman Moore's freshman receiving records. They love this kid. As a timeout has been charged to the Cavaliers. They have 1 remaining.
George Welsh didn't want to compare him to Herman Moore just yet, Billy McMullen, but remember, Herman Moore did not start as a freshman, as number 11 Billy McMullen is starting. Long striding guy. Gets to 12 yards in 3 strides, we understand.
He's like a triple jumper out there. But yeah, he's got deceptive speed. Doesn't have actually great speed, but he's really the spark. Middle of the season, Billy McMullen really started to play well for this offense. If this offense is going to get back in this game, he's going to have some big catches and open up, extend that field a little bit to open some holes for Thomas Jones. I mean, what do you do, though, Coach? You're down 42-7. Clearly the star of your team is your running back. You don't have time to give him the football every play. You got to throw the football.
Well, you get in the ball other ways as well, but you got to keep giving him the ball some. Their problem, of course, is their offensive line. They've lost their whole left side of their offensive line, so that doesn't help your running game or protect your passer for the passing game. And they've turned the ball over, given the field position to Illinois in this first half. Did not expect this kind of a half.
So after his first completion to a wide receiver from the 41, 1st and 10. Rolling out of the pocket, chased by McGee, throws to Jones, chased on the side by Michael Young, and then whacked by Young at the 50-yard line. About a yard shy of the 1st down, picks up 9. Francis and Young were there. Mike Young, 3-year starter, a junior from St. Louis, and he can deliver a whop.
Watch the subplot in this, though. Watch Thomas Jones make somebody miss in the open field right there. Yep. He still got it.
That's what you said. Still get the football to him somehow. Throw it in the flat. Let him make people miss.
2nd down 1. UVA with 1 timeout remaining. The midfield. Defensive backs are about 35 yards off the line of scrimmage as Ellis winds up and throws a pass incomplete. Zeroing in on Kevin Coffey's junior wide receiver. Incomplete.
Illinois is saying right now, hey, we're going to put our safeties about 40 yards off the ball. We're not going to give up the big play. We're going to make you earn it down the field. So far, they haven't been able to do it. They turned the football over.
Well, we're in Hail Mary territory right now. Now there's 9 seconds left. What they wanted to do, though, push it back, try to get one to the sideline and get a little bit closer. Tim Kish, the defensive coordinator, telling him, get back. Get back, I said. They can't hear you, Coach. They know not to let anybody behind them, though.
3rd down and 1 from midfield. Could be the final play of the half. Ellis winding up, going deep at the 10, right through the hands of McMullen, number 11. And time has expired. Ron Turner with an outstanding first half as 7-4 Illinois out of the Big Ten with a commanding 42-7 halftime lead over Virginia. Let's send it downstairs to Craig Sager.
Well, Coach, a total dominating first half. Did you have any dreams whatsoever that would be this easy, and how do you explain it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's easy. We still got a lot of football left to play. We got to come out and play with as much energy, as much enthusiasm as we did in the first half. A lot of football left to be played, but you know, I think our guys are focused, and right now they're flying around and having a lot of fun. We got to keep that going in the second half.
All right, thanks for being with us. A great first half by Kurt Kittner. He caught a touchdown pass, he ran for a touchdown, and he passed for a couple. He was raised by a single mother, and what an inspiration she is. Well, that story next. The score, 42-7, halftime. (42-7), 4 touchdowns for Illinois quarterback Kurt Kittner. He threw for 2, he caught a touchdown pass, and he ran for a touchdown. Back when he was a senior in high school, he broke his right thumb. He thought the season and his college scholarships had vanished. But he had a talk from his mother, who basically said, well, you quit or you fight back. Well, he did fight back. He put a cast on his thumb, played defense, and learned the respect not only of college coaches, but also his mother.
I'm feeling real proud of the way I've played this year, but, you know, it's gonna, you know, I got a lot more work ahead of me. I got 2 more years, and, you know, I got, you know, people are gonna expect me to put up the same kind of numbers that I put up this year, next year, and the year after that.
He set his sights on what he wanted to do, and he has worked. He's had no father figure. He's had no political pull. He just did this on his own, and that's a tough thing to do.
Kurt Kittner may be in the top spot, but it was Lee Tranton, his mother, who taught him to fight for the position. Lee, a single mother of 3 boys, battles multiple sclerosis, a degenerative disease of the spinal column.
She's taught me a great work ethic, and she's been working full-time with us 3 and, you know, be in the hospital at times and going through her disease and not complaining. You know, you got to learn from the stuff that goes wrong, and she's just got a great head on her shoulders.
Raising boys was just raising boys. You have to listen to him. Mom, you want to go play catch? Mom, you want to go do this? If work got in the way or something, okay, I'm going to drop what I'm doing right now, and yes, let's go do that. And I've never missed a game.
In addition to managing her symptoms, Lee has balanced up to 5 part-time jobs at a time, 3 different school schedules, and numerous athletic activities.
I have a hard time with fatigue. When I get tired, I get really cranky, and sometimes I will take it out on the kids, and it's funny now because they send me to my room. I'm like, thank you, I'll go. But they know it. They can see it coming before I can feel it coming. And they've been helping me identify the problems.
MS affects the muscular system, often causing numbness in various parts of the body. Lee has had numerous seizures, a reality her boys have endured on a regular basis.
I had a friend over, and, you know, she got sick.
Then I went over to the kitchen. Kurt said something to me.
She was in there for a while, and I was like, what's going on?
And I said, Kurtie, would you come here for a minute?
You know, she was just lying on the ground. I was like, what are you doing?
He's right-handed. His hand was in a cast.
I thought she was like going through the cabinets or something. She's like, I fell.
He lifts me up, cast and all. He gets me under the armpits, starts dragging me up the stairs.
She was embarrassed, but, you know, I don't care.
Matthew comes in the front door and says, what you doing with Mom? Kurt goes, I'm trying to get her to a room. Help me out.
I had to pick her up and carry her up the stairs and put her to bed.
So he laid me down. I'm still in my skirt and shoes, my work clothes. And he goes, I got your pajamas. And he's holding them up like this. And he's looking at me.
Just little things you have to do in order to help her out.
So he laid them on top of me. Okay, Mom, go to sleep now.
You can't do enough, you know, to help her out. You know, all the things that she's done for me, you know, anything. I would do anything for that lady.
I love life. And like I said, when I was diagnosed, I realized I had a choice. I could be unhappy or I could be happy.
You know, she's one of the loudest mothers out there. Great personality, and she's like my mother, my father, and my best friend all at the same time. You know, a lot of kids can't say that.
On bad days, Kirk's mom, Lee, is either bedridden or in a wheelchair. On good days, she walks with a cane. Today is a good day, and she is in the stand sitting comfortably tonight. Earlier, we introduced you to the Thomas Jones family. We'll take you to their hometown, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, when we return. The score at halftime, 42-7.
A thing of beauty is a joy forever. And a lot of fun to play. Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
They come to us for many reasons. Because we save them money on what they need with their everyday low price. Because we help them solve their problems and get them back on the road. And because we stand behind the parts we sell with a warranty that's good at more than 2,500 stores coast to coast. Fact is, people everywhere come to us because we're AutoZone, the largest auto parts retailer in America. And there's just no place any better.
Virginia's lone touchdown was scored by Thomas Jones. We told you earlier that he has achieved unparalleled success throughout his football career, not only in the classroom, but of course also on the football field. He could very well be the first running back taken in the draft in April. Whatever team takes him will get a franchise person, one whose bloodlines flow with a strong understanding of work ethic.
There is a light attached to the helmet that has defined Thomas Jones's family. In Big Stone Gap, Virginia, both grandfathers spent 40 years mining coal, and for 19 years, his mother Betty worked underground.
She took me to the mines, but I never went in. And, you know, every day at school, you know, we'd be praying for her, you know, that she would come out okay, because she would go in at like 8 o'clock, and then she'd come out at around 4, you know, and you know, there's no guarantee that she would come out, you know, and we all understood that.
When it was my time to go, and I told these kids when it was my time to go, I was going to go no matter where I was. I mean, you know, so, and I knew that the mountain could fall just any split second. I mean, you know, well, it's dangerous, you know, because you're under the mountain. I was fortunate the mine that I worked at, we never had a fatality at that mine.
My dad worked at University of Tennessee. Sometimes he drove 2.5 hours, you know, every day just to come back home after work. And, you know, my mom, like I said, you know, working in the coal mines wasn't easy. And, you know, we feel like, you know, going to school, getting an education, you know, doing exactly what we're supposed to do and being good people, you know, is nothing compared to what they've done.
At the University of Virginia, a school founded by Thomas Jefferson, this TJ has been a pillar of strength. Last May, Thomas Jones graduated in 3 years with a degree in psychology and now aims for his master's in education.
Athletics are fine, you know, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion should we as parents and as society match athletics as we call Brussels sprouts and broccoli. They're not. It should be dessert. The academics are the Brussels sprouts and broccoli in reference to the way we see it as a family.
We always preached A's and B's. I mean, we've always been an A and B family, you know. We will accept C's if that's 100%. But if you're not giving 100% and bring a C in, that just didn't work.
Thomas Jones on the carry. Thomas Jones, number 34. Thomas Jones.
I wanted to get big. I was like 9, 10 years old. I wanted to get big. And my dad, you know, of course I was too young to lift weights. And so he said, well, you can do push-ups. They weren't making us huge or anything like that, but it was just mentally, you know, if you didn't do them, you know, you felt bad. You know, it got to that point to where, you know, I wanted to do them every night. And if I fall asleep and didn't do them, then, you know, I'd wake up and I'd do them.
And that in itself has helped him a whole lot, knowing that if you can do those things when your body or mind says you don't want to do them, then ultimately you've got some reserves to use when you get in the third or fourth quarter in these football games or any matter in life when it becomes difficult.
Younger son Julius, now at Notre Dame, will carry the family banner into the Saturday sunshine. And as Thomas turns to Sundays, you get the feeling that this family learned long ago how to turn coal into diamonds.
Thomas has taken us for a good ride, but the destination is not at hand yet. And the beauty of the thing is the ride. It's not the arrival. It's the ride along the way. And he's taken each of us for a pretty good ride. And we hope that it continues.
The late Bobby Dodd would be proud of the Jones family. Dodd coached for 22 years at Georgia Tech. Won his first bowl games 8 years in a row, which is still a record. And he never sacrificed academics. We'll announce the 1999 Bobby Dodd Award winner next.
Nice. Hold that. When you coach the junior gymnastics team, you do most of the exercise. So muscle aches are out of the question.
There you go.
That's why I take Advil every time. It's strong enough to get the job done. This is a very safe sport, as long as I can keep up. So I trust Advil. Absolutely nothing's been proven stronger in even tough pain. These kids depend on me, and I depend on Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain.
I am sick and tired of losing.
It's better to give than receive. From director Oliver Stone, any given Sunday, life is a contact sport. Rated R. Now playing.
Congratulations! I brought you a brand new Cadillac Escalade.
That's right. You can win a 1999 Cadillac Escalade delivered by Jake Plummer. Simply order NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. Anyone can enter, plus you'll automatically get up to 13 NFL games every Sunday. Just call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and order NFL Sunday Ticket.
Who knows? I could bring a Cadillac Escalade to your house.
Open your new year with a gift from DirecTV. It's the return of Blondie, one of rock's most innovative bands in an exclusive free concert.
Feel the rapture
On DirecTV. Featuring songs from their new album, Blondie Live. Blondie in concert premieres January 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern, free to our customers on Channel 103. Another DirecTV preview event.
Thank you.
That's right. It is 42-7 at half. Illinois on top of Virginia. In 1976, the Bobby Dodd Award was established to honor the coach who enjoyed success on the football field while stressing academic excellence. As we announce this year's winner, let's look at part of the prestigious group of previous winners. And the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year in 1999 is Frank Beamer, who has led Virginia Tech to a perfect 11-0 regular season and a matchup with Florida State for the national championship.
And you get an award like this, the first one you should think is your wife, because she's put up with you and put up with a lot of long hours. But I certainly need to think that my coaching staff, a group that I have great confidence in. And, you know, you never hear about a Coach of the Year coaching a bad football team. And we got a good football team here at Virginia Tech, some good players. And when they play well like they've played this year, certainly the coaches have coached well. So the players, the coaches, my family, I'm appreciative to all.
Frank Beamer was the defensive back and captain of Virginia Tech in 1968. He has taken the Hokies to 7 consecutive bowls. And one of his players this year is his son, Shane. Now let's go back upstairs and Kevin.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Let's talk about Florida State, Virginia Tech. It's for the national championship, Trev.
Well, I'm one of those guys. I really like Virginia Tech in this game. I know they're the underdog, but this is a special football team. Michael Vick is an outstanding quarterback. The only thing I can compare him to is the team that gave Florida State fits this year was Joey Hamilton and Georgia Tech. If there's anybody that's like Joey Hamilton, it's Michael Vick. And then they have guys to get pressure. Corey Moore is going to come off the corner. Chris Winkie is that sitting target. I like Virginia Tech with emotion to beat Florida State.
Coach, let's take the common denominator. Virginia played both of them. George Wells told us, be careful. Virginia Tech's going to be ready to play. Virginia Tech held Thomas Jones to only 83 yards. Florida State couldn't do that.
By the way, Trev Alberts played in 5 bowl games for Nebraska. How many wins did you have?
We were quite successful. 0.
I don't believe that. We'll be back here to Miami right after this. This is the MicronPC.com Bowl from Pro Players Stadium.
I am the Black & Decker Bullet. I dig holes. I'm the only drill bit with a pilot point tip to start holes on target, so I make holes without slipping. Beautiful, round holes. My dad once said to me, son, if you can't make an accurate hole, don't make one at all. This one's for you, Dad. I'm the Bullet. I'm built by Black & Decker.
Did the holidays do a number on your diet? Now is the time to get back on track during Sears' best time to buy. You'll get 0% financing on all treadmills till January 2001 when you use your Sears card. Hurry, time is running out.
Your car is gonna freeze all night. It won't start unless you fight.
Before your gas line turns to ice, pour in a beaker of new Prestone Cold Start Fuel Additive. It works double time to fight gas line freeze and clean your fuel injectors. From the cold weather specialists, now cold starting protection. New Prestone Cold Start.
Hit me with your best shot.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now.
Wow.
What has the world talking? TI Programmable DSP. Turning cell phones into handheld engines of information. From the world leader in digital wireless, Texas Instruments.
Give into the rush and take your senses for a ride. Don't miss the most intense 2 hours of television every Monday night. Watch WCW Monday Nitro on TNT.
Virginia down 42-7. I'm with Coach George Wells. 4 times this year you've scored 45 and 1 points. How difficult is it going to be here tonight?
Well, no, we got to stop them first. We can get the offense, but you know, all year long for us, the offense is fed off the defense. So you know, some plays back. Now both things on sour in one half, and that's as bad a half as I've seen in our team for a long, many years.
All right, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Let's go back upstairs.
Former Sporting News Coach of the Year back in '98, George Welsh. 13 consecutive winning seasons, the 8th longest streak in college football. And he has scored in an ACC and school record 187 consecutive games. So they've got some things here like Thomas Jones they can still throw at him in the second half.
Well, you talk about consistency, and there's your coach. I mean, he's flat out a good coach, and I promise you, you watch this Virginia team in the second half, there'll be no quit in the Cavaliers.
Look at this kid kickoff. 7 kickoffs, 7 touchbacks. Rackers. And let's take a look now at tonight's MicronPC.com halftime statistics. Sam?
Total domination. There's not much to look at right there. Illinois 371 yards in the first half. Now, that's not a bad ball game, actually. 8 for 9 on third downs. That's right. That's the difference. And, of course, the turnovers 2-1. But field position's been given up. They had the block punt as well.
Well, Virginia gives up 400 yards a game. They've already given up 371. It could get to 500.
From the 20-yard line, it is 1st and 10. Ellis remains the quarterback. Here comes Thomas Jones breaking a tackle on the play, then brought down by Tony Francis, 33. Donnie Clark was there as well. Gain of 11. First down.
You know, listening to George Welch there, and he's talking to Craig. Coaches sometimes wonder, did I forget everything? You know, we had this team ready to go. We had a few things go wrong, and then everything comes apart. It's a frustrating thing. Remember, that coach doesn't make tackles and can't run the ball. He gets them ready to play, and just like you send your kids out during the school days, you hope you taught them well.
Thomas Jones wrapped up by Fred Wakefield after a gain of 1. Wakefield, who is from Tuscola, Illinois, with the tackle. He's a junior.
Just shoots the gap. Actually, he comes right up, and he's one of those. Here's one of those situations where you've got a man coming from the outside, but he's going to get across the line of scrimmage, so there's really no maneuvering room that time for Jones.
Wakefield made the play, but Danny Clark really forced him right back into 2 good plays.
Always team defense.
2nd down 9 from the 32. Ellis fields a high snap, goes across, almost picked up by Young twice.
Well, and Dan Ellis continues to get hammered. There's McGee, 85 again, pounding Dan Ellis into the ground. There's only so much a guy can take. You're going to see, here he goes back to pass. Ramel Connor off the corner, but there's McGee.
It's really Connor and McGee. Both those guys are bringing so much pressure. There's no room for the quarterback to maneuver in the pocket. And look at this. Oh, on the 2nd try, Mike Young almost came up with that one. Coverage gets tighter and tighter when you know the pressure on the quarterback's getting quicker and quicker.
3rd down 9 for Virginia at the 32-yard line. Here comes Connor. There goes the pass. It's caught by Hawkins. Slicing through the secondary for a 1st down. He's to the 49 of Illinois. A 19-yard gain. His first catch tonight. Another Cavalier 1st down. Plez makes the tackle for Illinois.
Just a 4-man rush. Now Hawkins is going to come from the inside right here.
It's just a well-designed play. You take the tight end, you run him up the field, and take the wide receiver and bring him underneath. You hope the defense bites on the tight end, and they did.
Zone defense in behind it, though. They just kept everything in front. They're willing to give up a few of those.
1st and 10 from the 49. Down the middle. There's the reception. And it's made by Demetrius Dotson from Staten Island, New York. Gain of 24 yards. The New York City High School Player of the Year.
Just a seam pass down the middle. He's going to just try to find the hole in there. Mark Jackson has got the coverage deep. There's the seam. Here's the hit right after the catch right there. Coming back from the inside, Eric Gunther.
Thomas Jones from the 25, 1st and 10, ripped by Danny Clark.
George Welch going back to what he would have done in the 1st quarter. Basic run, pass, trying to split him up the middle because he sees his own defense.
Now, if you're Tim Kitchen, defensive coordinator in Illinois, you can't afford to get away from what you did in the first half. Continue to be aggressive. Don't sit back there in those zone defenses. I know that's going to take a lot of points to win, but continue being aggressive.
Well, they're getting so much pressure from their front 4, though. They can really play zone or man back there in the secondary.
Jones gained 4 on 1st down. 2nd down and 6. Great time for Ellis. There's the pass. Threads the needle. Caught by McMullen. Flag is down. Probably a face mask at the Illinois 11. Gain of 9.
Billy McMullen just goes down and stops in the hole there. Another zone defense. Still looking at a 4-man rush. Still getting pressure on the quarterback. Defensive holding. This looks like the initial drive of Illinois as we started the ball game going the other way. Right, yeah. Marching right down the field.
And Gary Tranquil's taking a page out of Ron Turner's book. Listen, if we can't protect our quarterback, let's do a 3-step drop, get rid of the football, and run some slants and be able to move the football with a short passing game.
Holding on the defense, penalized 10 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
Defensive holding. Those guys get in there and they've had such a productive first half. They don't want to give anything away in the second half. Those defensive guys have a different mentality. A score, even if it doesn't get you back in the ball game, is it's like a sword in their pride.
Are you saying we're different, Coach?
You're very different.
It's 1st and goal. UVA at the Illini 10. Jones again. Tries to pierce the 8, gets to the 7. Fred Wakefield, 99, and 96. Brandon Moore come off the bottom of the pile.
Linebackers all there too. Gunther and Schumacher.
All night long you've seen them Illinois defensive linemen able to get off blocks. It's one thing they really concentrated on is getting into your guy, but getting off the block and getting to the football. Every time, 4 or 5 guys right there at the tackle.
Second down goal, ball at the 8. Dotson in motion. Ellis getting a block from his freshman left tackle. Throws a pass, and it's caught by Dotson. Whacked on the play by Trayvon Waller. A gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and goal.
And Ellis gets hit again as he releases the ball down here tight. That really is about a 25-yard pass. It only goes down the field. Now Dotson's in motion right to left. He's out here in the flat. Look how long the ball is in the air. It's like throwing the ball straight down the field 20 yards, but you're throwing it to your left.
Because of injuries, Ellis has a freshman left tackle and a sophomore guard right now. 3rd and goal from the 5. Ellis with time to the end zone. Dropped in the middle by wide receiver Kevin Coffey. 3rd drop by a Cavalier tonight. It'll be 4th and goal, and they're going to go for it.
Virginia just hasn't made the plays offensively. You see a well-designed play, wide open. The ball is there. Hit him in the hands. Should have caught the football.
A little bit in back of him, though.
Yeah, a little bit behind him. You know, Coffey reminds me of a guy I coached named Dwight Clark. Played at Clemson. Not the fastest guy on the field, but terrific hands. Usually makes those slightly behind throws.
From the 5, 4th and goal. Jones in the backfield, 2 receivers deployed to the end zone again. This time it's caught. A 5-yard touchdown grab by Kevin Coffey, who just dropped the pass before in the end zone. And the Cavaliers have made waves to begin the second half. Former All-State basketball player in Ohio. He was in a crowd. He was probably used to that playing on the hardwood. And here in Miami and the surface of Pro Player Stadium with the Braverman extra point, he was in a thicket of Illinois defensive players and made the grab.
Coming to the inside, and he's going to get hit by about 3 guys.
Looks like the same play, Coach. Great catch that time.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Yeah, she sure is. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Be my guest.
You got anything in a 2-door?
Can't do it in life? Do it on the web with the power of the Pentium 3 processor. Don't just get onto the internet, get into it.
A significant discovery in eye health may be lutein, a nutrient found in these healthy foods. Now Centrum has the only leading multivitamins with lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Centrum Silver, now more complete with lutein.
You guys! You didn't! You did! And guess what? We got you a
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Thank you.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
The MicronPC.com Bowl on the Superstation is brought to you by Selsun Blue Shampoo to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signals. And by MicronPC.com. Think beyond the box.
Back at the MicronPC.com Bowl here in Miami, Illinois, with a commanding 42-14 lead over Virginia. But a touchdown catch moments ago by Kevin Coffey, number 88, has made things interesting. Let's see now how Illinois responds on the kickoff by David Green. And this will be taken by Havard from the 5 at the block from Rocky Harvey. And he is up to the 37-yard line. A 32-yard return. As you take a look at Kirk Kittner, what a spectacular night he's had.
He runs them in off the bootleg early in the ball game. And he hands the ball off and catches the pass in stride. Perfect, fingers up, dancing in the end zone. And then he throws the ball. This one to Cook. And for good measure, he pops another one to Cook. So Cook's mom gets a good chance to see him play later in the ball game.
On the 37, 1st and 10. Here's Cook again, being chased on the side by Taylor down the sideline to the UVA 44. A 19-yard gain. This kid has been great. A sophomore. What a tremendous future he's got.
Well, he really does. And, you know, as a linebacker, that's the toughest thing you got to do. You're so geared up to stop that running game, and all of a sudden you slip 34 Cook out of the backfield. Tough to be able to defend a great pass-catching tight end.
And defensively, Virginia has to be saying to themselves, as a defense, strip the ball. We've got to have some turnovers in this half to get back in it. And so you get to be even more aggressive.
Well, you know, our offense has just done the job. Now we've got to stand up and get a stop, get a football, get the turnover.
1st and 10 run. And it goes to Havard. Tackle made by Shenard Newby.
Every time you gamble a little bit in order to create a turnover, you play more aggressively. The odds go up with every gamble. And of course, the gamble you're making is they pop one loose because there's not as many people in different layers there. They're all going after the ball. And if they get past that one layer, he's gone.
11-yard gain right there. 1st and 10 for Illinois at the Virginia 33. Fake to Havard. Kittner with time. Great block up ahead by Sullivan. Kittner drives all the way to the 28. Stoops with the tackle. Gain of 5. A marvelous block by Marquez Sullivan, their starting left tackle.
All Big Ten. Right here. Watch. Straight drop back, little token fake just to hold him, but now he's going to see that there's nobody open. He starts to scramble down the field. You see Jameel Cook making a block out in the open field as well.
2nd down and 5. Illinois at the Virginia 28. The fake. And Kittner throws kind of in between 2 receivers. He had Josh Whitman low, and he had Brandon Lloyd deep, and kind of just dropped between the 2. Incomplete pass.
A couple things you see, though, the last couple plays. First play, scrambles for 5 yards. The one thing that's made this offense so good is Kirk Kittner not making the mistake. Threw it where no one could intercept the ball. The play before it, tucked it under, everybody was covered. Makes good decision, and that's one of the things that separates him from other quarterbacks.
3rd and 5. Now Kittner tonight on 3rd down passing, an incredible 8 of 8 with 7 first downs the result. Hand off to Harvey, though, here. Running into his own blocker. That's Kaluga, and it should be a first down depending on the spot. He had to get inside the 23, and he did. Great blocking up ahead. Gain of 6 on 3rd and 5 by Rocky Harvey.
Part of what makes that play happen correctly is that Kittner, on his first step of his retreat, his head and eyes are going to be looking down the field. Watch where his head and eyes go. See him straight down the field. Takes a little skip before he turns his head back. Those linebackers, when they see you look down the field, they're dropping in retreat to cover, and then the ball's handed off. You got a little running room.
First down inside the 23 of Virginia. And they blow that dead before it has a chance to get going. Flag is down with 8:46 to play here in the 3rd.
And he's mad because they got a flag. They're out in front 42-14.
But that's been the one thing, Coach, though, that they've done. They haven't made the mistakes. And you've seen tonight, Illinois doesn't make the mistakes. Virginia has made some mistakes. All season long, Illinois has done a great job of not turning the football over, taking care of things correctly.
Delay a game. 5 yards.
Ron Turner, though, is doing what all top coaches do. They don't stop coaching regardless of the score, what time of the season, what time of the ball game it is. You are continually coaching. You never know when you're going to say something that's going to stick with a player that next year maybe wins the ball game for you.
First down and 15, pushed back to the Virginia 27. Hand off to Havard. Got a block from Cook. Breaks a tackle on the play and dances his way to the 21 and a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and about 9. Tackle made by Thweet.
Well, sometimes you'll have a safety that's simply unblocked. You're going to have to ask your running back to be able to make somebody miss. You're going to see number 20 get into the hole. All of a sudden, should make the tackle there. Slips a tackle. A good running back has to make at least one guy miss.
Jameel Cook, though, with a solid block, just giving him a chance to try to make something happen.
Illinois' offensive MVP. Kittner on 2nd down and 9. The pump fake. Here comes the rush. He is elusive with his rushing into the end zone and through the hands of Michael Dean, outstretched outside the end zone. Incomplete pass. Great deceptive move by Kirk Kittner. Incomplete pass.
Jaton Evans that time, the safety, is going to be blitzing from out of the, here he comes out of your screen. He's going to come straight up the middle. There you see him coming. He's the guy that's in hot pursuit all the way, and Kittner just keeps the ball alive. You know, you don't know really how close that guy is. You got to turn your body around and get the ball up. Nice concentration down the field.
I have yet to find a weakness with Kirk Kittner. He feels the rush. He has poise. He gets away from it, and that's a safety with some speed coming out.
Told us he was the key to their season this past weekend, and a pass into the end zone here on 3rd down and 9. Overshoots intended receiver, senior Michael Dean. Incomplete pass, and they're going to have to settle for 3. Antoine Harris was covering, and Ron Turner will try to tack on 3 more as the UVA defense holds them to just a 3-point try.
They came again with Evans on that play, straight up the middle, same blitz, just didn't get there in time.
This guy's a beauty, huh? This Rackers.
He's as much fun as anybody out there. Never thought I'd say that about a Kittner.
38-yard try. This one is no good. Wide right. Rackers miss it. A rare blemish on what has been an outstanding evening for him with all the extra points and 7 touchbacks on kickoffs.
Laces forward.
Yep, looked pretty good. Just drifting outside the upright. Might have been a K-ball.
In 1819, Thomas Jefferson founded the University of Virginia. 180 years later, another TJ has made a name for himself around the grounds. Thomas, we thank you for your contributions in the classroom and on the playing field, and we wish you the best of luck in the NFL.
Hey, Michael, John here. I'm hanging out, having a beer. How come you don't come down?
Man, I'm doing the same thing as you. Why don't you come over here? I mean, the Miller Lite is ice cold and so smooth.
Oh, come on, man. From where I'm sitting, the Miller Lite tastes great.
Yeah, but the women are prettier over here. Trust me on this.
I find that very hard to believe.
And you guys call yourselves detectives.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You know, we're kind of off duty right now. You know.
Hi.
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 Next month.
Let the party begin!
Start your millennium with a movie.
Great plan, Einstein.
On DirecTV.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Woo!
Wild Wild West. The Iron Giant.
Are you a murderer? Oh, yeah.
Instinct.
That movie has was my fragile little mind.
South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Don't you love it here?
The Haunting. Entertainment for the next 1,000 years starts next month on DirecTV.
Illinois with a 42-14 lead. Perhaps no team was happier to receive their bowl bid than the Illini, who 2 years ago were 0-11 and last year had their losing streak extended to 18. With me, the chairman of the board and the CEO of MicronPC.com, Joel Kohler. Joel, you never know what kind of game you're going to get. What are your thoughts on the Illini?
No, you don't, Craig. And by the way, it's great to see you again. The Illini just jumped all over Virginia in the first half. I mean, they really came to play tonight. But, you know, I think this George Wells coach team, they're gonna come to play in the second half and get back in the ball game.
So many bowl games. Why does this one change its name from MicronPC to MicronPC.com?
It's the internet, Craig. I mean, everybody's on the internet or getting on the internet. So we've actually changed the name of our company this past year as we've moved very heavily into internet services.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Craig, from the 21, 1st and 10. Thomas Jones explodes up to the 30-yard line with a gain of 9. Now Bella makes the tackle for Illinois.
This guy is so quick into the hole, and once he gets there and you think he's running full speed, he's not even out of low gear yet. He's got second and third to go.
He has 8 ACC records, 15 Virginia records, and here he goes again. Has the first down, bounces outside, finally brought down by Wes and Mike Young.
I'm not sure if he got the first down. I think he had it, and then when he bounced back out,
right.
Spot may have moved it back.
They may get a measurement here.
But, you know, that's why he's such a dangerous player, because he does bounce around. You don't know when he's going to go left and right, but he can plant and then be going north and south again as fast as anybody I've seen, really, in pro football or college football recently. This guy's got all the tools.
Really good group he's with right there as we get a more accurate measurement to see. Not that close.
You know, sometimes offensive linemen just don't really know how to block for a guy like that, because you never know where he's going to be. He may show up in your hole and say, wait a minute, he was supposed to end up on the right side. I'm over here blocking on the left. That guy can end up anywhere.
Key to it is stay on that block as long as you can until you feel your defender drop his hands. When the defender drops his hands, it means he just saw the guy go the other way.
Third down and 1 from the 31-yard line for Virginia. Quarterback keeper in the 6'2", 207-pound Junior Ellis. With a block from center John St. Clair, one of the best in the country. Probably chisels a first down, and it does, up to the 32-yard line.
You know who their running back is, and their deep threat, really, the big home run threat is Billy McMullen, their freshman, number 11. He should be the guy that they'll be getting the ball to in this second half for the big chunks.
First and 10 from the 32. Fake to Thomas Jones. The pass intercepted on the play by Abdullah. He gets a block from Waller. And here he goes inside the 30-yard line. Dancing to the 25. A 21-yard return. His 5th interception of the season.
You talked about the quarterback's eyes. Dan Ellis. Abdullah does a great job. Never looks anywhere. Just read the eyes of Dan Ellis. Great hands, Abdullah, with his 5th interception of the season.
Leading interceptor for the Illini with a nice block there from McGee and a disgruntled quarterback Ellis of Virginia.
It's called a fairway, Jane. Let's see if you can hit it.
So, liking the new job?
So far,
whoa,
so good.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I got to get to the airport.
Oh, well, you know, we could check your flight from here.
You're not going to be able.
3 hours delayed. We can still play.
You know, I should probably get back and check the inventory.
Well, you know.
You can do it right here, huh?
Mm-hmm. Wireless internet access from Palm.
Hey, you think that thing can help me find my swing?
No.
They're not coming out. We're going in to get them. You're always hot. You're always sweating. It's a cat and mouse game.
We have some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant.
Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
Does this work?
When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful Ultra Dry form releases extra protection when you need it most.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on, Degree kept up with me. It kept me dry. Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
That stuff kicks in and takes care of business.
Your body heat turns it on.
Book 'em.
Just in time for the holidays at Circuit City. Get an instant $400 toward any Circuit City purchase when you sign up for 3 years of CompuServe 2000 Premier Internet Service, only $21.95 per month. Just sign up at Circuit City, and we'll hand you a $400 merchandise card instantly, good toward anything in our store. Apply your $400 merchandise card to a computer, camcorder, big screen TV, or refrigerator. It's $400 of whatever you want, only at Circuit City.
More bad news for the Virginia offensive line. Mike Mullins, who in to replace Josh Larson, just separated his shoulder. He is through for the night, and standing on the sidelines in crutches, you have Joel LaMontagne. He's the one in the blue shirt, and also Josh Lawson, who's in the t-shirt, both on crutches with sprained knees. They will be reevaluated later. Kevin?
From the Virginia, thank you, Craig. From the Virginia 23-yard line, Havard takes it near the 15, gain of 8.
Boy.
He continues to run hard.
Yeah. Talk about going through your offensive line for Virginia, though. Leaving your youngest players probably playing out of position the rest of the ball game. But for Illinois, in comes number 49, Chris Hoffman, who's been their red zone H-back more than anything else. I guess you call him fullback, H-back.
Second down and 2 from the 15 of Virginia. Handoff to Havard. Hurdle to defender, goes to the 8-yard line, picks up another Illini first down with the gain of 7. On the heels of his 8-yard gain, the tackle made by Shannon Taylor.
The offensive line of Illinois is just completely controlling the Virginia defensive line. You see the center there, Butkus doing a great job on Shivers, running him right past the play. That young offensive line really come to life here.
And Butkus, yep, that is the same Butkus, Dick Butkus. He is a nephew of Dick Butkus. And his dad, Ron, played with the Chicago Cardinals. First and goal. Havard to the 5. Maybe the 4, and a gain of 3. Tackle made by Johnny Shivers.
Another solid blocking, lead blocking by Jameel Cook. The left side of that offensive line getting pressure. Talked about Butkus a moment ago. Offensive center.
You know what's so hard? I mean, you're sitting here looking at this, and they're in the I formation, and they're effective. The offensive line coming out, you're smash-mouthing them, and all of a sudden you take Cook's 34. And after he's been pounding you all game, he slips out into the flat, and next thing you know, it's a touchdown.
Maurice Anderson is down. He was the defensive player of the year for this Cavalier team this year from Blackstone, Virginia, having a career year in his senior campaign.
Boy, Virginia has been really struck with injuries. Both sides of the ball, offensive line, and now the defensive line. See their offensive linemen, Lawson and LaMontagne, both of them out in the first half.
So another Cavalier injury.
They're all leg injuries too, Kevin. All of them seem to have been. They've got one shoulder, but a lot of guys flying around getting those ankles and knees tangled up into piles.
One thing you forget, you get so used to the pro game, but these kids have had to weather being away from a lot of family and friends over the holidays. They've been down here practicing, and they've just finished exams at their respective schools.
Absolutely. And they've had a big break in their regular routine of the season.
Second down goal, Havard slithering down to the 1. And finally brought down by Shannon Taylor. And boy, Sam, I think you said it a little while ago, whether it's Havard or Harvey or Cook, I mean, they come at you in waves, all with a different feel to the running attack.
With second effort. Watch Havard's second effort right now. He is really low. You see the lead block by Jameel Cook. Now he should be down, but he's still digging for yardage, and they're ahead 42-14, and he's still trying to scramble into that end zone.
Havard with 72 yards. Third and goal. Havard, the Cook block. Havard is in. And Cook let him through his second touchdown tonight.
Jameel Cook and Steve Havard. Havard gets the name in the paper tomorrow. Jameel Cook gets all the pats on the back when they study the film when they get back to Champaign.
I don't know if I've seen a more complete fullback in college football this year.
He certainly had a complete game, running, catching, and blocking.
Rackers with the extra point. The Illini on a roll.
Hello? Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud.
True.
What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
Hello? What's that? What's up?
Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Dookie! Yo.
What's that?
What's that?
Hold on.
Hello?
So what's up, B?
Watching the game, having a bud.
True. True.
There's only one place to be on a Saturday afternoon, and that's at the game. NCAA football. Pass it on. NCAA football. Pass it on.
NCAA football. Pass it on. Pass it on. Yeah.
Illinois in their first postseason appearance since 1994. The highest scoring offensive team in school history. And a little-known sophomore, Jameel Cook from Miami, playing in front of his mom for the first time, putting on quite a show, as are his teammates. And Illinois all over the Virginia Cavaliers from the ACC, 49-14. Now the ensuing kickoff from Rutgers, and you take a good look at Tyree Foreman, sophomore, a high school All-American, two-time Maryland Player of the Year in high school. That's how good he was. And here's the kickoff. And he's going to take it out. Foreman gets a block. And the kicker can't make the tackle. A great block down the sideline, and he's up to the 37-yard line. Tackle finally made by Eugene Wilson. Some fireworks from the Cavaliers. And a player is down for Virginia. And that is Jason Small, a special teamer. And let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, what a homecoming it has been for Miami native Jameel Cook. He has a pair of touchdowns, one by pass, one by run. I'm with his mom, Gwen, but I got to start off with a negative question. The fumble, you got awfully quiet. You're hiding. Did you think he could come back from that?
Yes, I knew he could come back because he's that type of fella. He's that type of fella. And then when he looked over here and he saw his mom over here, he knew he had to do what he had to do. He had to come back.
Bowls are always fun, but what about for your family? You got about 70 strong here. You cook for your son and some of his teammates. What's it been like for you?
Oh, it's so excited. You know, I'm just so excited. I'm so happy to be here because this is my first time seeing my son play football, you know, while he was in college. I'm just so excited.
A couple of years ago in high school, he was an academic non-qualifier, didn't know what his future would be. One of your relatives said, "You come with me, I'll take you to college, I'll make something of you." How proud are you of him?
I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of him because I always push that issue to him to get his education. You know, and that was always a part of him, to strive for the education. And he had it in him. He had it in him, and it's there.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Let's go back to Kevin.
All right, Craig, thank you. Great story from the 37. Virginia begins again. First down and 10 yards to go. Coffey, the wide receiver, in motion. Thomas Jones gets a block from Woodson and takes it past the 40 to the 41, picking up 3. Tackle made by Eberhardt.
Get the ball back to your star player. Settle your team down. Actually got back into this ball game. Good drive on the start of the second half. Illinois has come back now to quiet that. Just go back to your basics. Get back in the game first. Don't try to score too quick. Backfired on you the last time.
Second down and 7 from the 40. Rushes on. Ellis going deep and looking for freshman Billy McMullen. Incomplete pass. Trayvon Waller was covering on the play. And for more information on how subscription computing can change the way you buy computers and internet services, log on to MicronPC.com.
I think you saw one of the things that's plagued Virginia all year, not having a wide receiver able to separate from the defensive back. That time Illinois in man-to-man simply could not find any separation. Nobody was open.
Third down and 7 from the 40.
Nickel defense, spread offense.
Ellis is hit. Eats the ball. Great pressure put on the play by Terrell Washington. Second sack today recorded by the Illinois defense on George Welsh's offense.
And so tough on the offensive line of the Virginia Cavaliers. They're down to freshmen playing out of position a little bit. And you saw Terrell Washington coming off of the blind side of the quarterback. Really a coverage sack to begin with, though, because he had time to throw it.
Donnie Scott to punt. And one blocked earlier. Flag is down here. Eugene Wilson on the reverse, and he gives it off to Brandon Lloyd. It's a gallop with the punter to beat, but a flag is down. And so is Lloyd at the 17-yard line. It's probably going to be roughing the kicker at the 25. It may negate a 58-yard return by the freshman Lloyd, who's been spectacular tonight. It's against the Illini. Wipe away the return.
Here's the roughing the punter. Just trying to get a lot of pressure. None of these kind of penalties are intentional. Just trying to get there, and when you pass through that punter's leg, that's what they're trying to do, protect him.
He was blocked into him.
Exactly. I'm not so sure he wasn't blocked right into him.
Roughing the kicker. Automatic first down.
I'm not sure that the block was the impetus of that. I think the impetus came from the rush itself. Let's see if we can tell in this review. He's coming by. I don't think the blocker's holding him out very much. And that would be the judgment of the official. Did the impetus of the roughing come from the block?
Now you're using big words on me now, Coach. Impetus. Come on now.
No, not impotence.
Wait,
don't ever say impotence to an ex-coach. We have stepped over the line here, big fella.
No, you have stepped over the line.
Oh, boy, that was a big laughter and then a lot of quiet there for a second.
Well, I think we're all looking at it. Wait a minute. Well, that kid's had a tough night. He's had one blocked, one deflected, and he was whacked right there for midfield. The draw play handoff on 1st and 10 to Thomas Jones, brought down quickly by Robert Franklin. One of the top 20 high school linebackers in the country when he committed to Illinois from St. Louis, Missouri. And overhead shots tonight, courtesy of Goodyear and our blimp, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, one of 6 Goodyear blimps to be providing pictures from around the world New Year's Eve on the arrival of the new millennium. Thank you, gentlemen. Great job tonight. Terrific scenics. 2nd down and 7 for Ellis. There's a dart. Catch made by Jones. Tackle made by Franklin for no gain. This kid is every place. He's authoring this defensive drive for Illinois.
Well, that time they just dropped back into a pure zone, 3-man rush, kept everything in front, and when the ball was laid off short, there was nowhere to run. Franklin looking right back at the quarterback and reading his eyes. Thomas Jones came across the middle. I don't think he had a chance to even put it away.
It's 3rd down and 7 for Virginia at the Illinois 48. 7 seconds on the play clock. And the whistle blew, and a timeout will be taken on the field.
Timeout. Illinois. Their first timeout.
They burned their first, and much to the chagrin of Coach Ron Turner. He's not too happy about that.
Does he know they're up 49-14?
But I think Sam, as a coach, made a pretty good point moments ago. He's got a young team, and then Trev, as you said, you've always got to coach a young team. It never ends. This is kind of like extra practice for the team that they.
Well, you know, and you're also not just coaching them on technique. You're coaching them on attitude. That you stay in the ball game, start to finish. You know, Kevin, you've been with me a little bit. You know that finish is one of my favorite words. You can begin a ball game, you can begin a project, and then if you run out of steam at the end, it's just not worth anything. You haven't left yourself with a good starting block for the next time around.
One of the things, too, is we're starting to see a lot of backup players in for the Illini. The second-team defensive linemen, you know, Franklin, some of the guys that don't get all the playing time are now in. So now you've got to coach these guys like it's the first quarter.
Let me tell you who else you coach. You coach the position coaches. See him talking to Tim Kish, the defensive coordinator. He walked over to another position coach and pointed to himself and said, "I'll call the timeouts, not you guys." Sometimes you just have to take a philosophy and spread it around, not just with your players, but with your position coaches as well.
You coaches are tough.
Huh? Mean.
They make money. They can do whatever they want. 3rd down and 7.
They got out right when the money got good.
From the 48. Here comes the rush by McGee. He's got the quarterback Ellis, who somehow gets it away for Jones, who picks up the Virginia first down to the Illinois 39. Forced out a play by Assam Plez. A gain of 9 on 3rd and 7 with the pocket crumbling all over the quarterback, Don Ellis.
And I'm not reaching here, but, you know, even though Virginia is down right now and Dan Ellis is getting all kinds of pressure, he's learning too. He's learning that he can still get the ball away if he can keep his arm free long enough. And if he can get it to his, well, this year, get it to a guy like Thomas Jones, he can get him the first down.
And off to Jones and gobbled up at the line of scrimmage by Brandon Moore, 96, a sophomore from Gary, Indiana.
I think another thing he's learning is a couple backups on the left side of his offensive line sure doesn't help this offense. I mean, I credit the kid for being able to stand in there, but after a while, you just got to feel sorry for him. He's just getting bombarded every play. Illinois is good enough up front on defense to be able to get pressure just with the defensive line. They don't have to blitz. They're able to sit back there as a second, doing a great job. Tim Kish's unit has played outstanding tonight.
We just saw the injured starting left guard, Noel Lamontagne. 2nd down, 14. Ellis throws a pass which is caught. McMullen, the freshman, close to a first down at about the 32. It's a gain of 12 on the play in what may be the final play of the 3rd quarter. A second remains. They are shy of the first down, and that'll be it. We'll go to the 4th quarter with Virginia on the move, but down by a ton. 49-14 in the MicronPC.com Bowl. Another Cavalier injury. It's been that kind of night. And for Illinois, everything is looking great.
Do it in life, do it on the web with the power of the Pentium 3 processor. Don't just get onto the internet, get into it at Intel.com.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
When you coach junior gymnastics, you do most of the exercise, so muscle aches are out of the question. That's why I take Advil every time. It's strong enough to get the job done. These kids depend on me, and I depend on Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain.
There's no better time than now to get the good life at Sears, so don't miss out on the best time to buy. Get 0% financing on all home appliances over $399 till January 2001 when you use your Sears card. Or you can choose free delivery. Take this Kenmore washer and dryer. Save $120 on the pair. It doesn't get any better than the best time to buy. At Sears, the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
The MicronPC.com Bowl from Pro Players Stadium in Miami. 49-14, the Illini from the Big Ten on top. Kevin Harlan alongside Sam Weich. And Trev Alberts, as a player, you're down like this going to the 4th quarter. What are you thinking?
Well, I tell you, it's one of those situations where you find out about your players. I mean, you find out about your young guys. You find out about your senior. You're going to have a character team right now. You're going to find out if they continue to fight for 4 quarters.
We have the first play of the 4th quarter here. 3rd and a long 2 from the 32. Ellis getting a block from his running back, Southern. Throws a pass as he is whacked down the sideline on the play by Danny Clark, the leading tackler, with tremendous pressure on the quarterback. And that's going to force them now into a longer situation.
Actually, Virginia's done just about everything they can. The quick throw 2 plays ago. This time they're rolling out. They've mixed in a nice blend of the run with their runner, Jones. But when you've got a weakness in your offensive line due to injuries, you've got guys that didn't practice together. That offensive line is a separate unit within itself. And start using the mirrors.
So now 4th down, along to the wide receiver. Coffey's in motion. And Ellis Sexton throws a pass and is right through the hands of Trayvon Mason. Robert Franklin was covering. And on downs, they turn it back over to Illinois.
Tried to get the quick throw underneath. Now, even though that wouldn't have been a first down with the completion, he'd have caught it running And the odds, of course, are that you catch it running against man, you can get the first down.
We are going to see a new Virginia quarterback when they get the ball next. David Rivers will check in. The night is over for Dan Ellis.
Overwhelmed by e-business? Don't be. Get the software, services, and partners that make it easier. The business internet. It starts with Microsoft.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this Gigundo party sub from Subway.
And no bacon on my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2. Oh well, 'tis always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
You guys! You didn't! You did! And guess what? We got you a
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Thank you.
The MicronPC.com Bowl on the Superstation is brought to you by MicronPC.com. Learn how subscription computing from MicronPC.com can change the way you buy computers and internet services.
Coming in January on TBS each week, an all-new original series, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Premiering January 12th, 8:05 p.m., only on TBS. On downs, Virginia turns it over to Illinois. Handoff, Jameel Cook with a block outside from his big left guard, Kulaga. He picks up 12 yards. This kid has been shining tonight. Tackle made by Merrill Robertson, a freshman for Virginia.
This is going to go straight hard up the left. Now he's reading. He can take any of those holes. This is just man blocking. Straight handoff. See, each blocker now just tries to cover up his defender.
I don't think Illinois has found another running back. I mean, during the season, didn't carry the ball a lot, caught a lot of passes. They're finding out they can put Cook as a single back and run the football awfully well.
It is not cold here at all. I don't know why he's smoking like that. It is a first down. Outside, Harvey boosting down the sideline. Inside the 35, takes it to the Cavalier 29. What great detonation he has. 26-yard gain and another Illini first down.
So left side now. Here's the lead block by Cook, and then the left tackle Sullivan sustains his block to the outside at number 80. Brian Hodges making his block back up to second tight end. I wouldn't even call him a backup. They alternate, Whitman and Hodges.
Yeah, Hodges is the former tight end. They said he's just learning how to be a tight end, learning how to block, learning how to be physical. That's what Rocky Harvey gives you. Change up from the power game.
Another block by Cook, another run by Harvey, who's over 110 yards tonight. On his 9th carry right there, picks up 2. Give him 113 for the evening. They get 112.
Okay, if you had a running back that got 13 times every time he carried the ball, Coach, would you like to have that?
Well, let me think for just a second. That's a first down every time we give it to him, right? We eliminate having to carry a punter on the roster.
So what else we don't need any wide receivers.
Yeah. Just a good holder and a good extra point man. That's just about all Illinois needed tonight.
Exactly. Yeah. Second down and 8. From the 27. Kittner, nice play fake, buys him some time. Wide open is tight end Hodges. He's near the 10, tackled out of bounds. First and goal, Illinois. At the UVA 9, an 18-yard gain. Tackle made by Evans, the freshman safety.
They got 2 tight ends in the ball game. Hodges lines up on the left side. The token fake gets in behind the coverage. That's Jerton Evans. He'd been blitzing all day. Now he had to drop back into coverage. And 8 different receivers tonight have been hit by Kurt Kittner.
Outstanding display by the sophomore quarterback, and the handoff goes to Rocky Harvey. Spinning and diving in for the touchdown. What a play. I think that expression tells you all you need to know about Virginia tonight. Here's the extra point try by Rockers. 56-14. If it's not Harvey, it's Havard. If it's not Havard, it's Cook.
I could hear the block up here. Cook with another great block, and Rocky Harvey. What great effort. The little guy's only 180 pounds, but he finds a way to get into the end zone. Illinois is rolling.
It's the New Year's Comedy Cure 2000 on the Superstation. Bring in Y2K with 24 hours of your favorite funny movies. And join the New Year's Comedy crew as they hit the streets to make the world a funnier place.
Knock, knock!
Who's that, sir?
Anyone want to father a child?
The New Year's Comedy Cure 2000, beginning 12 midnight Friday. Only on the Superstation.
'Tis the season to party with Multimax. Cause this month, we've got the hippest movies.
Yo to you.
On Cinemax, catch a different film every night at 8. A big premiere on Fridays. And see Sigourney battle murderers. And aliens. And on More Max, we've got intense vanguards, classic faces, and tons of your favorite tough guy. Turn to Max, More Max at Max West. Pump it up with Multimax on DirecTV.
Want to watch your favorite players?
I like to watch Steve Young. After every throw, he holds his hand like this. And, you know, it's picture perfect.
Order NFL Sunday Ticket right now and get the rest of the 99 regular season, plus all the 2000 regular season for just $189.
I like to watch Dan Marino.
Dan Marino succeeds in a ski boot. It's the quick release. I mean, it's so fast.
Get up to 13 games every Sunday through next season with NFL Sunday Ticket.
You watch this game long enough, you see it all.
56-14 Illinois. I don't know if anybody, and I mean anybody, expected this kind of a rout by the Illini.
Including the Illini. They thought they had a real battle on their hands.
Look at this kickoff. Right to the back of the end zone, retrieved by Tyree Foreman. The touchback, 9 kickoffs, 8 touchbacks by Rackers. He has been a story unto himself as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, 56-14. I hope you're with us at halftime when we introduce you to Kurt Kittner's mom, Lee. Did you have any indication whatsoever that he'd have this type of game?
Not this well. He was very nervous. He was very uptight about it because he knew Virginia had that running back coming out. And he gets focused. He wanted to win, and that's what he decided to do.
Tell us about your button.
This button is from the University of Michigan game. And that was when he was in the big house, he said, and he just wanted to win then. And he just came out, and somebody printed these up, and we all got buttons after the game.
It says, if you never walk into disaster, you'll never experience a miracle. Quite a message. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Craig. Great job tonight by Kurt Kittner. New quarterback now for Virginia is David Rivers, a junior from the home of the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. His dad played football at West Point, the Army, and a kid who rallied Virginia against second-ranked Georgia Tech for a win earlier this season. 2nd down and 2. Handoff goes to Tyree Foreman. He's got the first down and more up the sideline. Tackle made by Abdullah. So the book is closed on Dan Ellis. 15-yard gain there by Foreman. Ellis is finished. 8th-rated passing efficiency quarterback in college football. Now we got a new look at Rivers.
Rivers, interestingly enough, is a long snapper for this ball club when he's not playing quarterback. Started first one from against Georgia Tech, had 3 touchdown passes, Trev.
Well, he might be snapping a lot tonight.
We've only got 12 minutes left, but he might be doing both.
There goes a flag. Rivers throws. Pass is caught by Chris Luzar, who is a reserve tight end from Williamsburg, Virginia. It's a gain of 8. Danny Clark with the stop, but the flag may negate that. There's a crew from the Mid-American Conference. Done a nice job tonight. With a lot of scoring. This is against the Illini defense.
They can take about 6 or 7 yards, or they can take a free 5 and get the first down again. The decision they're making.
Well, we expected
Offside.
a lot of
defense. The penalty is declined. It'll be second down.
We expected a lot of scoring, but we thought both teams would score an awful lot. The Illini defense, I think, has played outstanding.
Tim Kish, the defensive coordinator, put this game plan together beautifully.
So it's second down and 3 from just inside Illini territory. And Foreman again gets 2 yards on the play. He is a cousin of Richie Anderson, the running back for the New York Jets. And we mentioned before, 2 times he was voted the high school player of the year in the state of Maryland. First time in the history of high school football in that state that has occurred.
And you can see the pure speed that he's got. He's got the acceleration. One of those guys that comes out of the blocks and looks full speed before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1. Foreman is just a sophomore. On the 48, and Foreman again. And I think he's shy. No gain on the play. You talked about the Illinois defense coming up big right there.
Penetration. They're just taking the gaps. We were talking, Trev, earlier in the day about the 1 gap versus the 2 gap. They're just taking 1 gap and trying to get there before the offensive lineman can reach block. And what ends up happening is you see white jerseys on the blue side of the ball.
Ramel Connor just comes right underneath that tackle, gets in the backfield. I like that kind of defense. Don't just sit there and let them run to you. Get in the backfield and dictate to the offense what they're going to do.
Donnie Scott has had 1 block tonight, 1 deflected, and a roughing the punter penalty is now with 4th and 1. Could this be a fake, perhaps? Let's see. The snap will come from Will Thompson. No time remains on the play clock, and they may take a delay of game.
Delay a game. Offense.
In a little bit of trouble. They don't have enough folks on the field. Coach is trying to get 1 more player out there, or replacement, I suppose it is. Out comes Billy McMullen.
I've got to believe this is just going to leave such... I mean, when you lost those bowl games at Nebraska, it had to leave a horrible taste in your mouth throughout the winter.
You know what, Kevin? You can have a great year. If you don't win the bowl game, it's still a disappointing year. Doesn't matter what you did during the season, even if you were in the national championship game.
Eugene Wilson diving for the fair catch at the 18-yard line, a 37-yard punt. And there's one of their starting linemen, Noel LaMontagne, out for the game.
I slave for you. I get hit over 100,000 times a day. But do you even care? You will when I go 404 and start turning clients away. They say I'm your server, but perhaps it should be the other way around.
Do you really have time for this? We do. Introducing subscription computing from MicronPC.com. We'll expand your web capacity so you can expand your business.
There's a lot more to working in AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
A significant discovery in eye health may be lutein, a nutrient found in these healthy foods. Now Centrum has the only leading multivitamins with lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Centrum Silver, now more complete with lutein.
All the running backs for Illinois have had to turn it back today. This is the 2nd touchdown pass from Kidnap to Jameel Cook. And then Steve Havard, Mr. Inside in their backfield. And then Rocky Harvey. Normally Mr. Outside, he takes it up inside with a 2nd effort for the touchdown. And all their guys have played beautifully. Cook not just catching the ball, we saw him there, but running it in, and his blocking effort tonight has been terrific.
And the numbers by those running backs, that trio. 1st and 10 handoff. This is Antonio Harris, who is a freshman from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and rated one of the top 5 high school running backs in the country coming out last year.
He's one of those guys earning his stripes from the special teams as well during the season against Ohio State. Just before the half, he goes down on the kickoff, knocks the ball loose, recovers it on the 1-yard line, helped lead to Illinois' defeat on the road of Ohio State right after they beat Michigan on the road.
You surprised Kittner still in the game?
I just saw that. Kurt Kittner. 9 minutes left, up 56-14, still in the game.
2nd down 8. Hickman is met by Jerton Evans. Elmer Hickman, a senior from Alton, Illinois, picks up 4 yards. Why keep him in now?
I don't think you can get him out. I mean, the guy loves to play football. You've heard him talk to his mom in that package. He absolutely loves to play the game.
Well, I'm not sure I'd let him talk you out of that one, though, at this point of it. But this is Illinois' style. They're going to fake punts. They're going to fake kicks. They're going to have reverse touchdown passes for touchdowns. They had a reverse on a punt return later in this ball game. So their style is to just keep coming right after you. It's a 4-quarter game.
3rd down and 4 from the 24. And Hickman again. Trying to plow his way up the field. Looks like he's achieved the 1st down up at the 30-yard line as George Stanley makes the stop on senior Elmer Hickman.
You know, the other quarterbacks for Illinois, you got a senior, Kirk Johnson, and then Walter Young, who is also a wide receiver as well as a quarterback. That's Johnson, a senior. Has played limited play.
You talk about team players. Elmer Hickman's a senior on this team, and he actually started for the first half of the season, gave way to Jameel Cook and Chris Hoffman, and he hasn't complained one time. Getting some valuable playing time right now.
From the 30, handoff. Antonio Harris off to the races. He's being chased by Evans and brought down by Evans at the 25-yard line. A monstrous run of 45 yards. Do we have a 4th dimension now to this Illinois rushing attack?
Well, you got a Virginia defense that's sitting there. They've been pounded on all day. They're tired. They've been running after. Now you put in the fresh legs. And there's no difference really between him and the older guys. It's just experience. I mean, the speed is there, the cut ability. He's just going to have the experience. He's a great football player.
And Elmer Hickman comes in and picks up right where Jameel Cook left off as the lead blocker, along with the whole left side of that offensive line. This isn't running the score out. That's just a straight off tackle play for big yardage.
And the 3rd string running back doing it. Here he goes again, breaking a tackle from Evans and then taking it down to the 20-yard line. A gain of 4. Angelo Crowell makes the stop on Antonio Harris.
Well, there you got your wish. You got Kirk Johnson in at quarterback now.
And Jameel Cook on the sideline cheering on his offensive teammates.
You know, the folks that run this ball have done a great job with these teams. There's so many things to see in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. They're taking them to the beaches and all the various sites and tourist attractions. Both squads, they have told us, have had a great week and a half down here. 2nd down and 6. As Kirk Johnson is the new quarterback and is in the game. Kirk Johnson is a senior from Brentwood, Tennessee. And the handoff went to Hickman for a couple yards on the play.
Only thrown 10 passes this season, completed 4 of them. Actually completed 5, 1 to the other team. Those are the ones I used to throw when I was playing.
For more information on how subscription computing can change the way you buy computers and internet services, log on to MicronPC.com. Illinois 10 of 11 on 3rd downs tonight, and a quick timeout taken by Kirk Johnson.
Timeout. Illinois.
Guy who started he started 3 games last year, played in 4 games this season, and is drawing a chuckle from
they're letting him have it on the sideline. We're up, man, let's go, and you're calling timeouts.
These two teams began the decade of the 90s in the Citrus Bowl, the only other time that Virginia and Illinois have played each other. Jeff George threw 3 touchdown passes and was named the MVP in the 31-21 victory for the Fighting Illini. Jeff George Bounced around college a little bit. And John Makovic, the one-time coach of the Illini, was the coach then. Kurt Kittner has broken the single-season touchdown record set by the aforementioned George.
George had 22 touchdown passes and got 3 of them in that bowl game, though, and the bowl games counted towards that record.
Well, the Big Ten counts bowl game numbers toward school records, but some conferences don't.
Not my conference. I got taken out a lot of sacks I made in bowl games.
What conference would that be? Is it
it'd be the old Big 8 conference.
Third down and 3 from the 17. Johnson gets a block, throws short, and the catch is made backpedaling by fullback Elmer Hickman. And close to a first down. Let's see if he tumbled ahead. I don't know if he got it.
You know, you might wonder why they're throwing the football here late in the fourth quarter with this kind of lead. But if you're Ron Turner, you have to give guys a chance to compete. Guys have played all season long. Give the guys who's still a chance to compete. Let them try to get a touchdown.
And Trev, this kid's a senior, this quarterback. He hasn't seen a lot of time this year and goes out on a good note playing in a bowl game.
Well, we remember talking to Coach and asking him about his backup quarterback. And, you know, if Kittner would have went out early, it certainly would have been a concern. Not a lot of experience there.
Fourth down and inches from the 15. And the 6'3", 200-pound Johnson pile drives his way down to about the 13. It has an Illini first down with 6:16 remaining here. Illinois will get the win and finish the season 8-4 with what was a well-deserved bowl invitation, and now obviously proving a lot of people that this is a team, Trev, and I think you said it earlier, to contend with next year in the Big Ten.
There's no doubt in my mind, this whole offensive line that has absolutely dominated Virginia's front, the whole thing is going to be back. Some good athletes, big, strong guys. At Butkus at center. Running backs are going to be back. Kurt Kittner, of course, only a sophomore this year. Listen, a lot of people starting to think about maybe Kurt Kittner, Heisman. I know it's early. A lot of guys are going to be candidates, but this guy is certainly a great football player. He's right on that list.
He left the Chicago Bears and took over and really didn't have much of a recruiting chance and influence on the group. He just inherited what he inherited. They won 3 in '98. And now they've made the largest jump of any Division I team in the Sagarin ratings from the final 98 poll to tonight. Second down and 8. Harris has no place to go. They went from 91st at the end of last year to 23rd in the Sagarin ratings. That is the largest in Division I football, and the credit belongs, of course, to Ron Turner.
I don't know how much credit we want to give those computer rankings in that BCS.
Okay, here we go.
But the point is,
BCS
aside,
this team has made a great stride for the start of the season. A great job of coaching by Coach Turner.
Third down and 9. Handoff. Spinning. Hickman takes it down to the 5, shy of a first down by 2. So it'll be 4th down and 2 at the Virginia 5.
Straight up the middle. Once again, I just point, there's nobody running the score up here. They're running straight ahead, keeping the ball on the ground. But when you get your chance to get in there and play, and Elmer Hickman hadn't carried the ball that much this year, you want to make the most of it. And those offensive linemen want to do that. You know, we said this earlier, but this team beat Ohio State and Michigan on the road and Iowa on the road. They are a football team that hasn't just had a lucky night here. They're playing against a very good 7-4 Virginia ball club. But tonight the ball has certainly bounced their way, and when it did, they have made the most of it.
4th and 2, 12th play of the drive. It began back at the Illinois 18. Kirk Johnson, the quarterback, the senior from Tennessee. Handoff, Harris, the block, the dive, and he's got the first down, but did he get the touchdown? About a football's length away, so they've got the first down, 1st and goal to go. The Illini inside the Cavalier 1.
Well, so you bring in 49 Chris Hoffman. Here he comes into the game. Play before, right up the middle again. That offensive line continues to just dominate the front. Push him right back towards the end zone. 49's in the game.
Virginia didn't have enough players on the field.
Now they made the offense, made the substitutions, and
Virginia, their first time out.
Defense tried to match up and didn't get it done in time. Ron Turner now is calling the plays for Illinois, but he's talking upstairs to the running back coach Robert Jackson and the quarterback coach Craig Prestige. They're talking, giving him the situations and tendencies and so forth, and then Turner makes the call.
Timeout by UVA with under 4 to play, in Illinois dominating in Miami.
What's converging the world of communications? TI Programmable DSP, combining voice, video, and data over a single line for more people than ever before. From the technology leader in broadband access, Texas Instruments.
I am the bullet drill bit. With my pilot point tip, I drill holes without slipping, because accurate holes are my life. I'm the bullet. I'm built by Black & Decker.
If the sun is bad for me, why do I look so good with a tan?
I understand male pattern baldness. I just can't find the pattern.
How can I tell my daughter I've been there when obviously I haven't?
Health is here. Discovery Health, a brand new 24-hour TV channel and website from the people who bring you Discovery. Now the health information you need is right here on DirecTV. You can find the Discovery Health channel on DirecTV's Channel 313.
From the law offices of Ronnie Lynn Deutsch.
Do you owe back taxes? Business or personal, the IRS is now reconciling back-owed taxes, levies, liens, payroll taxes, as well as penalties at a fraction of what's owed. Qualified tax professionals will negotiate and resolve your tax nightmares. Call now before the program ends. We can help, and all calls are confidential.
Call 800-350-7311 now.
We're back in Miami at the MicronPC.com Bowl. Kevin Harlan, Trev Albert, Sam Weich, and Craig Sager, and our entire Turner Sports Network crew. Great to have you with us tonight. Big night for the Illini. First bowl appearance since 1994. The quarterback, Johnson, in for the touchdown.
And the senior gets his touchdown. 13 plays, 12 were runs, and only one was a pass.
That kid must feel so good. Last game in a major college uniform. And to take it himself, score in a bowl game, and be a part of an incredible resurrection from no wins when he was a sophomore to a bowl game when he's a senior.
Well, you just saw in that last play, the offensive linemen were 3 yards into the end zone. It's been happening all night long. The offensive line controlled the defensive line of Virginia.
Rackerts puts it up and through. And everybody getting in the act here. 63 points tonight. You can see the most since the '89 season at Northwestern back in '89. Tough night for Thomas Jones, who has truly been one of the few highlights the Cavaliers have had. His career ends tonight in college football, but you can rest assured his pro career is just in the flowering stages. This kid is going to be a huge smash on Sundays.
Well, I still believe he'll be the first running back taken in the National Football League. I think his versatility, the fact that he can catch the football, he actually blocks well, he runs strong up the middle, he can bounce it outside. He does things that guys like Ron Dayne, as good as Ron Dayne is, and I like Ron Dayne, Thomas Jones does more. He'll be the first running back taken.
I read something the other day where some pro scouts are concerned that Ron Dayne at Wisconsin's a lot like Craig Ironhead Hayward. He takes a lot of punishment. He does not move fast. He can't shift out of oncoming tacklers. He's going to take a lot of hits. This kid avoids so much.
Well, Ron Dayne hasn't seen a defensive back he doesn't like. He searches them out, and that's his running style, and that's great. Ron Dayne has had a fabulous career. He deserved the Heisman Trophy. But when you get to the next level, things like hitting the hole fast and being able to burst through and being able to get through a small crack, that's the thing that's going to make Thomas Jones a first-round draft pick.
I'll tell you, there's one other factor, and that's character, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger part of every drafted player. Thomas Jones has all of that.
Well said, Sam, and that's very, very true. And here's the kickoff, a squib kick, and it's taken about the 9-yard line and brought upfield by fullback Anthony Southern. He maneuvers to the 26. It's a return of 17 yards, and he's tackled by Washington, number 25.
I'm disappointed in Rackers, guys. He's starting to jog now. His leg is tired.
He is. He's exhausted. You know he's exhausted.
98. Watch this kid. Now, he's run down, for those that are just tuning in. He has run all the way. Oh, he did.
He may have pulled something.
Oh, we don't want to make fun of that.
He pulled something.
But he has kicked it in the end zone and then run to the end zone all night long.
David Rivers, again, the Cavalier quarterback after the ineffective play of Dan Ellis. And the handoff as Thomas Jones is finished for the night. This is Arlen Harris, a freshman from Exton, Pennsylvania, a parade All-America, one of the top 10 high school running backs a year ago. And he's got a brother, does Arlen Harris, who starts in the water, comes on Ron Turner, the Illinois coach. Last time they doused him was when he won at Michigan.
And right now it's sliding down his back.
Have you had a few of those?
It's colder, cold. I've had a few of them. I'll tell you what, it gets colder as you stand there. It's not over right away.
Second down and 7. Rivers hit as he throws down the side. Nice positioning, and Tavon Mason had it in his hands, the freshman, and it went right through. And that's what kind of night it has been for the Cavaliers. 5 dropped Virginia passes tonight.
Really, the ball's underthrown and kind of flutters on Rivers. Tavon comes back, makes the good adjustment, simply can't haul it in.
That's just concentration down the field, and there's a reason for there to be a lack of concentration, and that's his score you see up in the top right corner of your screen.
Oh, by the way, David Rivers got belted that throw.
Yeah, he did. You know, there's getting beat, and then there's getting humiliated, and tonight Virginia's getting humiliated.
Well, when you get beat like this, you keep hearing about it. This one doesn't go away from the general conversation back on campus.
3rd and 7. The pitch out goes to Arlen Harris. He has a brother who starts as a running back for Penn State, and he was just whacked with a great hit put on him by Mark Jackson, whose dad is an assistant coach with the Illini. It's a gain of 10, and it's a first down for the Cavaliers.
Watch, actually, you can hear this hit by just watching it. Somehow there's an audible.
Ooh, you're right.
You can hear the crowd. They could sure hear it, their reaction.
He got drilled.
That's what those shoulder pads are for.
First down from the 39. And they give it to Harris again. And he climbs his way into the arms of Moan Long. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Clock continues to tick away here in the 4th quarter, and Illinois will have a bowl victory. Their first appearance since 1994 in the postseason.
Arlen Harris is 5'11", Thomas Jones 5'10". Harris 205, Jones 207. Sound like he's ready to step into that graduating senior's spot.
Much like Jones did for Tiki Barber. 2nd down and 5. Rivers winding up and going deep, and it's caught on the side. And in Will Thompson, the deep snapper. The long snapper just caught a 55-yard touchdown reception. Will Thompson is a part-time defensive back, a part-time wide receiver, and a full-time long snapper. His long snaps tonight have gotten the Cavaliers in trouble.
Rodgers is in pretty good position.
Just total concentration. You see the official doesn't quite make it all the way to the end zone, but Will Thompson does. And now he goes back to hold for the extra point.
He does 4 things. And they got Todd Braverman. We'll try the extra point. He is from Fort Lauderdale. Braverman is the extra point kicker, and so he is playing at home, which is nice. All eyes on Will Thompson, the long snapper, the defensive back, the wide receiver, and the holder. And he just got the nice touchdown pass for backup quarterback David Rivers.
And looks like Mr. Congeniality as well as he hits that sideline.
For more information on how subscription computing can change the way you buy computers and internet services, log on to MicronPC.com.
Remember, it's PC.com. We are in the computer age and the internet.
Well, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day for the internet, isn't it? For computers all over the world.
Yeah, I've checked mine out, guys. And I'm Y2K ready.
Compliant.
Good.
Ready. Well, good.
Well, if you're
smart guy
on board with MicronPC.com, you're absolutely Y2K ready.
Sam, you are a great salesman. I was going to say that right now.
Hey, how about the happy face right there on a night that has not been happy for the guys in blue?
Well, they're going to try, at least Illinois anticipates, the Cavaliers trying a onside kick, so they got all their good hands. Receivers, defensive backs. This kid's going to boot it. David Green knocks it deep. So it's a fly ball, and we're at the home of the Florida Marlins, so why not? And it's picked up by Rocky Harvey. Hemmed in, marooned at the 1-yard line and brought down. Great special teams play by Matt Iaconto.
Well, if Virginia had been playing like this the entire ball game, the score would not be what it is. But we're looking at a lot of reserve players in the ball game. All of them wanted to get out there and do one thing special that they could remember in this final game of their season.
Talk about that good hands team, Kevin. I never made the good hands team.
Somehow,
I could never figure that out.
Somehow, I'm not surprised. I shouldn't say it. By the way, the Orange Bowl will be here in a couple nights in this stadium. Well, it wasn't a play clock.
No, there's 12 seconds left on the clock when the whistle blew.
Plenty of time there, and they dropped the flag.
Dead ball. Substitution violation on the offense.
Oh.
Yeah, you cannot wait. You got to get them in. They got to be set. You can't be.
Well, I think they have 12 people on the field.
Exactly.
So you can't take 12 people basically coming out of the huddle, even though the huddle was on the sideline. And
that's what happens when you get a lot of young guys going in and out.
That's right. A lot of substitutions.
So now it is 1st and 11 at the 1. And Kirk Johnson, the quarterback, with the keeper, and the clock running down. Illinois with 1 timeout, UVA with 2, but I would assume they'll let this clock wind down.
Disappointing night for Virginia after a really good year for them. Played well, came from behind in some victories. Played against the 2 teams that are playing in the Sugar Bowl later this weekend. Virginia Tech and Florida State.
2nd down 9, shy of the 3. Kirk Johnson hands off, and it's to Antonio Harris, the freshman, who just kind of nudges his way up to about the 8-yard line. Our MicronPC.com player of the game tonight, Illinois sophomore quarterback Kurt Kittner, with an incredible display, running a touchdown in, catching this touchdown pass from his freshman wide receiver, and then tossing one right here to Jameel Cook. He did it all, and he is a kid you're going to hear a lot from in the coming years as the quarterback in the Big Ten for the Illini of Illinois. 3rd and 4.
Kittner did it to 8 different receivers tonight. 14 for 22, for 24 for 2 touchdowns.
Gain up the middle by Ivory Lewis, who deflected a punt earlier in the game, a 12-yard gain and a 1st down. And one more play, and the Illini, well, they're not even going to get that off. They're going to roll the clock, and Ron Turner in his 3rd year has gone full circle. No wins his 1st year, 3 wins last year, a 7-win season plus a bowl victory, with the disappointed George Welsh, who has seen every kind of football game in his many years as a head coach at Navy and now at Virginia. 63-21 the Illini. Let's go downstairs to Craig Sager.
Well, we've talked about him all night. We met his mom early. What about this game plan and how?
You know, it's just we've had a long time to go over, to work at the things we've been doing all year, and we just came out and out execute them today.
Well, thank you. Threw a pair of touchdowns, ran for a touchdown, pass. What was the most fun?
Probably catching it. It's not every day that you get to catch one. We had that in for a couple weeks. I'm like, Coach, man, you better call it. I was all jacked up about it. It's a great throw by Brandon. It was just really exciting to go out there and actually catch a ball.
After you came out of the game, away from Kirk Johnson was in there. You were giving the signals. How badly did you want him to score a touchdown in his final game as a senior?
No, today was his birthday, so, he wanted to play. Coach was going to call something else, and, he's like, yeah, just give me the ball. It's his senior year, it was his last season. He's been a great guy for us and always works hard. And, just good to see him have, a happy birthday.
Congratulations. When he signed with this team, they're 0-11. We knew where the basement was. We don't know how high the ceiling can go. A big win tonight. Let's go back to Kevin.
Well, we know about Drew Brees at Purdue, but there's another quarterback now in the Big Ten. That is Kurt Kittner. And a huge night from Jameel Cook and Michael Dean. 611 total yards for the Illini in their first bowl game since 1994. A huge victory over the ACC Virginia Cavaliers, 63-21.
Up to a scrape your windshield morning.
You freeze and freeze all through the night. That's okay, 'cause I know how to fight.
Forget blue washer fluids. Prestone de-icer fluid is the yellow powerhouse that won't freeze in your reservoir and guards against refreeze on your windshield.
Hit me with your pet shot.
Turn your windshield wipers into windshield scrapers.
Fire away.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Boy, you're sweating like crazy. You got TV cameras all over you.
We asked the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Visible solid? What's that?
Degree Invisible Solid is body heat activated with a clear difference.
Right there. See, there's no white stuff.
Degree works hard but never shows.
It's gotta be cool.
The MicronPC.com Bowl on the Superstation has been brought to you by Degree, the body heat activated antiperspirant and deodorant. Your body heat turns it on. And by MicronPC.com. Learn how web hosting and subscription computing can help your organization by visiting us at MicronPC.com. And think beyond the box.
Ron Turner, the coach of the Illini, holding up the trophy for the MicronPC.com Bowl. Finishing the season 8-4. His happy team setting a school record with yards tonight. 63-21 is the final. Our producer, Jeff Banky, our director, Lonnie Dale, our tech director, Beth Tura. Special thanks to Howard Zolkowicz, Lisa Smith, Jim Allen, Kathy Nose, Beth Fowler, Victor Victoria, and Jeff Randolph. Our spotter tonight, Gary Lynn. Our statistician, Pat McGrath. Now for Sam Weish, Trev Alberts, and Craig Sager, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long from Pro Player Stadium in Miami, where the University of Illinois has beaten the University of Virginia 63-21. Special thanks to the MicronPC.com Bowl Committee. Don't forget, Saturday, January 22nd from Mobile, Alabama, the 51st Annual Senior Bowl starting at 2:05 Eastern Standard Time. Coming up next on the Superstation, it's the best network in TV jungle, the Chip Channel. Good night from Miami.
Midway Airlines, official sponsor of the MicronPC.com Bowl. From the Northeast to the Southeast, your best connection, Midway Airlines.
The preceding has been a presentation of TBS Sports.